Hello, friends. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Hanky Law. Hanky Law likes solving your problems when they happen, but loves anticipating them so they don't. They provide real people with real solutions to help get your life moving forward. Hanky Law provides criminal defense, family law, personal injury, and civil law. Listen, the legal system can be intimidating and scary. If you find yourself in the legal system, it's important to have lawyers who can explain the process, navigate the legal system, and protect your rights. Hanky Law's experienced attorneys use their knowledge to skillfully defend their clients. Maybe your family is needing representation during a stressful or emotional event. Hanky Law can help. Hanky Law is comprised of Blake and Kelsey Hanky with a family of their own, so you can trust they understand the value of keeping the best interests of you, your finances, your future, and the long-term interests of your children in mind. If you are needing legal help in North Dakota or Minnesota, go to hankyjustice.com or call 701-746-4529. Hanky Law, counselors and attorneys at law.
Welcome to the Cloud Surfing Podcast.
Norby's had the opener on it yet.
Oh, okay.
I gotta get that kid back on here now that he's back.
I'll listen to the one with Kaylana too. When I was at work.
The recent one?
The one where she was talking about going to...
Oh, dude, that one is so popular.
It's not a bad one. I like it.
So popular. Everyone at work has been like, "Oh, dude, is she going back to? Is she
Alcatraz,
going back?"
Right?
I'm like, I don't know.
I was really because I was working at my mom's work part time for. They needed help with something. She works at a printing label company, and I was working part time there, and just the time that I had where I was doing like literally nothing, like pretty much it was just mindless stuff where we were just feeding stuff into a machine, and that's what I was doing for 8 hours. And I was like, I need to do something. Yeah, I started listening to podcasts, and I listened to the Basement Yard a lot. Yep. And so I liked that one, and then I was like, oh yeah, Ryder has one, and I listened to it, and I was like, this is pretty good. I like that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and that's when I actually texted you.
Oh yeah,
that day because I was listening to it. I was like, I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's what happens when you get like 25-ish. Everyone just like is like, oh shit, it's been like 2 years since I've seen this dude. You're like, I didn't even fucking know.
Well, the last time I think I talked to you was when you helped me get my skates.
Yeah,
I think that was the last time.
That was like 2018.
Yeah, I think
literally.
So. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh.
Hey, here, we're gonna play this video.
Okay.
I gotta grab the remote. I left it up there. Alright, just backing in here.
I was like, is it playing? Because she's not moving.
Yeah, she's just going kind of slow. Just backing in. Oh, God. Oh.
Oh, it's up there! I'm sitting down here. I'm so stupid.
We'll start it over.
I was like, that's what I was saying. I was like, she's not moving.
Oh, God.
I'm so dumb.
It's okay.
I was wondering why you were reacting.
It's alright.
I feel so stupid.
It's alright, don't worry.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even say it was going to be up there.
Oh, God. So this is just like a mechanic?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty clean shop. Oh. Just backing her up.
Oh my God! Holy shit! Wait,
that's what the fuck dimension.
Oh my God!
I went back again.
Oh my God!
Oh, it gets so much better. Hold on. Look at this guy. Oh shit, man. 0% helpful.
Right.
just watches.
standing there.
Huh.
Weird.
Huh. Damn, I hit this guy, didn't I?
Oh,
Shit.
he was the driver?
Out of here. Yeah.
God.
It doesn't do anything.
Oh, no.
Look, it's on his phone. What's going on over here? Hello?
Tap
Checks
him
his
to me.
car. The dude checks his car. So he scuff?
Yeah. I'm gonna need your insurance information.
Sir, I need you to get your fucking scuff off my car. From your body.
Oh, my God.
So we followed up. That guy did survive this, actually.
Thank God.
Yeah, we followed up because I had, like, so many people were like, so did you just play someone dying on your podcast? I was like, no, I didn't. No,
Oh, my God. It has 775,000 views.
Yeah, this one's...
That's insane. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's not even a little... Here, we'll play this one next. This one's kind of
Okay,
funny, too.
okay, watch up top.
Fat Man
Okay,
Gets
there.
Electrocuted is the title of this one. It's
Oh,
got
I gotta-
1.5 million.
I got a story for you about electrocution after this.
So basically, it's a homemade outlet that this guy's showing us how he made.
We call these extension cord outlets. They're very simple. You get an extension cord and you put it into an electrical outlet, you fasten it to the wall, and you get it just enough so you can plug it into another outlet. Just don't get Hang on, let's fix it.
Why would you try again?
You just plug it right into the electrical.
Oh my God!
Damn!
After you got shocked the first time, you should have aborted the mission.
Well, I guess
No!
maybe we won't plug it into the electrical outlet.
Thank you. I thought he was going back.
No,
I really did.
Goes for a third round.
I was like, this is Darwinism at its finest.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
God. I was helping my buddy move yesterday, and his cousin showed me a video
What
of
was
these
it?
two. It was these three girls, and they had to be 12, and they were like trying to. They were doing like a tutorial video. They're trying to show like how they can do their hair in like a bandana.
Okay.
And this cat like jumped up into the light, like their lamp, and started getting electrocuted by the lamp.
Oh my god.
And like during the video, like run over there because like it's like screaming. The cat. This cat is screaming.
Oh my
And
god.
they're like freaking out. The cat survived.
Okay.
Because my buddy, I asked him, I was like, this is not funny unless this cat survived. Otherwise, this is horrible. If
Cats
this cat
do
did
some
not survive.
stupid shit, man.
Oh, man. I see it and like, yeah. I'm a dog person. Always have been. Probably because I had a cat when I was a kid and it slept on my face and then poofy
That's what
eyes
they
for the
do.
next month.
Yo, cats, you know why they do that?
Why?
They do that because they know that you sleep too hard and they're protecting you. They know that they'll wake up.
Are you serious?
Yep, that's why they sleep on you.
Well, now I feel like an asshole. We got rid of the cat.
You were allergic to it, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There was nothing that we could have done, but and then my mom and I got a dog, and we weren't home enough
cool.
because it's just my mom and I.
Yeah.
And we weren't home enough, and then we had to get rid of the dog too. So.
Damn.
And that one, like, I remember the dog actually. The cat, I don't really remember that much.
Fuck that cat.
Yeah, that cat sucked. I know its name was Buddy because when I was a kid, Airboat was my favorite movie.
Yo.
No matter what animal I had, I named it Buddy. I had
Air
3
Bud was
fish.
the dopest films, dude. I mean, except for now you watch. Have you ever watched them as an adult?
No, God no.
They're hilarious.
I made the mistake.
They are hilarious.
I made the mistake of watching Halloween Town last year.
I've never seen Halloween Town.
Dude, don't. As a kid, you're like, this is the greatest movie ever. And then Dylan in that movie, it's like the little brother. Whiniest bitch of them all. It's like the Luke Skywalker of kids. Like, that's what he is. Just whines the entire time.
The Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, if you ever noticed that, like, I
Luke
never noticed how
Skywalker
much.
is whiny.
Yeah, I never
He's
noticed
very
that how
whiny.
much he whines and, like, is just, I can't do anything by myself.
Yeah, he's crying all the time.
Yeah,
He
the
really
whole time,
is.
that's Dylan in that movie.
It's
And it
fucking
sucks.
Dylan.
He's
Fuck
the
you,
worst.
Dylan.
That's
You
exactly
crying ass.
It was so bad. And I'm just watching this like this is the worst acting I've ever seen in the world. But it was like in '99 and they're kids.
Yeah,
So like,
exactly.
but yeah, I was like, I'll never watch another Halloween because we wanted to watch it as RAs, a bunch of RA buddies. We were all like, we should watch Halloween movies because it was around Halloween. We were watching a bunch of them. We were like, we should watch Halloween Town. We're tired of watching these, like The Exorcist and like
Yeah.
The Boy and like all these terrifying movies.
The
And we're
ones
like, we
that
should
scare you shitless.
yeah, and then we all have to go home alone because we all live in different rooms. Like none of us
Yo.
have roommates,
Yo.
and so we're like, I'm
The
not
thing
sleeping.
I liked about because you guys, the RAs had the single dorms too.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I had a single dorm my freshman year after I had to get like emergency moved out of my room because I had that kid like trying to summon the devil in my room.
Yeah, no,
Did I ever
yikes.
tell you that story?
No, you did not.
Oh, dude, my freshman year roommate. I woke up when I got super fucking plastered, and I came home to the dorms, and I'm like in bed, and like I woke up and like I looked over and I'm just like fuzzy still, but he's on the floor like in a pentagram with candles lit around him.
No
and
shit.
He's just in the middle of it with his head down, and I'm like, huh. I think I'm drunk. So I went back and laid back over because it's 3 a.m. and I went back to sleep. And I woke up the next morning, all the candles were still there. And the string that he used to like make the pentagram was still there. So I was like, nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
you need to get me out of here.
So I got moved out into that single room. And yeah, they're nice and small.
Jesus. Yeah, the single rooms are pretty nice. I know that for me, I really liked them just because I had a roommate. I always lived in the dorms. You know, last year was the first year I got out of the dorms finally, just because I was always involved in the residence halls.
Okay.
Whether my first year I was the wellness.
First of all, why don't you introduce yourself? We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, sorry. I'm Taylor Bennett. I went to school with Jake. We played
UND.
Yeah, UND. We played hockey together. That's I think how we first met.
Mm-hmm.
We were on the same hockey team, and then from there on we were just buds ever since. And so we always did stuff together. You know, play hockey was mostly the thing that we did.
Yeah, it was nice because I had a nice hockey job in Grand Forks too, so it was nice to. Yeah, it's nice having someone that you can get all your stuff from that's not a complete fucking idiot.
Absolutely, it was nice, and so yeah, so that's how Jake and I we stayed friends throughout the years. Then
What'd you major in?
So I got my master's degree actually in social work.
Ooh.
Yeah, so my undergrad and my graduate degree are both in social work. Don't have a job yet. I'm being a parasite on the earth. So,
Being a parasite.
Yeah, I
just graduated. Relax.
Yeah, in December. But I gotta take a test still. I gotta get my
It's
license.
Literally, it's the 1st of March.
Yeah.
You just fucking graduated.
Do you know who doesn't care that I just fucking graduated?
Your parents.
That does not care.
That
It
does
is
not care.
flying in pretty quick.
It's happy to have. Yep.
Yeah, and so my big thing is I have to take a test to get my license before I can practice.
Okay.
And so
When's that?
I get to sign, or I get to choose the date when I want to take my test. It's not like it's on a specific date, but if I fail, I have to wait 3 months.
Oh shit! You
And
should
so-
get that done.
Yeah, well the thing is now we're kind of in that area where it's like 3 months is after the first student loan has to go through, like
Yep.
the first repayment. So now I'm kind of like, no, I need to make sure I pass
Unless
this test.
what you can do, like if you don't get a job, you can still call. You have 36 months of deferment that you can use.
Oh, really?
Yep. So if you don't have a job yet, you can say, "Hey, I'm still unemployed. I need like another 6 months." They'll be like, "Okay," and they'll just do that.
Oh, really?
A lot of people don't know. Student loans are a bitch because you can never get out of them. But if
Right.
you have 3 full years of deferment, you can still use on top of those.
Okay, that's nice. Because I was worried because I still need to study for this test, and I was been using these last 2 months that I've been out of school.
This is federal. I'm talking about your private
Oh,
loans.
really?
I don't know how your private loans work. Don't fucking tweet me. But everyone else.
That's where most of mine are from, the Bank of North Dakota. So.
It's a good bank though.
Yeah, they were. Then their interest rates are low, which was nice.
2% fixed, isn't it? Something like that.
I think I did the variable rate because when I did it, it was like
Okay.
1.25%. Now it's at like 4.
Yeah.
But still, it's not even that
classic.
bad. Yeah. So because it could only go up 1% a year, and so, but yeah. So I took forever to graduate though. It took me 5 years to get my undergrad, and then a full year and a half to get my master's.
Okay, that's about normal though. By the time you're all done.
You would think so, but for you to get your like everything in the social work program, it's 4 years undergrad and then 1 calendar year for your master's. So 5 years.
Okay.
So I was a year and a half behind, mostly because my freshman year I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Define behind.
So I first started off my freshman year.
The average graduation is 5 years for
Yeah.
undergrad. So
Yeah,
you're
well,
not
you're-
really behind.
You're gonna realize how much I screwed up my freshman year. So I first
we
came
all?
in as a forensic science major. Okay, took chem, pre-calc, biology, like all the standard classes that you need to take. I passed 1 class out of those.
Classic.
And it was biology 150 with Carmichael.
Carmichael's the shit though.
I loved having him. And then, so I was like, yikes, because I was a kid that played sports my entire life. You know, I always had like a pretty set schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I played hockey, baseball, golf. Like, I was always doing something. So I always had a pretty set schedule where I got home from practice, did homework, and went to bed. And then I got up and just repeated that throughout my entire high school career.
Yeah.
And so when I got to college, I was not
No one's making you do that.
No, and I wasn't like a world-class athlete to get anything. So, you know, I mean, I know looking at me, I look like I could be a world-class athlete, but I'm not. And so so I just like had all this freedom. You know, my mom's not there to tell me to go to bed or whatever, you know, like you have to get up early. And my dumbass took 8 a.m.s every day.
No.
I got up for 1.
Earliest you should do is 10.
I could do 9. All my social work
could
classes
never
started
do
at 9. And that was okay. But I got, Yeah, so the only 8 a.m. class that I got up for my freshman year was wiffle ball. 8 a.m. Went to that class every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Ball. I went to that. I put in the time in wiffle ball.
It was.
Let me tell you,
it was dope though. That class was so much fun. We first started off in like the main gym in the Hislop. Like that's where we first started off. And then you know where the track is in the Hislop?
Yep.
So we actually moved in there because we were like, we want a home run porch. And so
Hislop was our athletic center at college.
Yeah. Sorry, that's where a lot of the athletes train that weren't part of the hockey program because they had their own thing in their
Now
own.
they've got a dope ass new arena.
Yeah, the high performance center.
Yeah,
That's
the high performance
awesome.
center's the shit.
Yeah, I really want to go in there.
It's pretty sweet. You should definitely go in there.
I
Doors aren't locked.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, they're like, only the student athletes can be in here, and that's what they said. But one day I was like, what's in there? So I just like walked in and started walking around and opened up doors and shit. I'm just walking around and someone's like, hey man, who are you? I'm like, what's up? And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm just checking it out. And they're like, yeah, no, this is...
Oh, but you could go in there though, and then they'll just kick you out.
Yeah,
like you can't
no
just like.
one's told me. I was like, oh, I can't be in here, and they're like, no, this is for student athletes. I'm like, oh, all right. So I walked out. But I checked the whole fucking place out first.
That's awesome. So I played rugby my last 3 years in college.
Dope.
So obviously you can tell with the sweatshirt and the pants. I'm repping the Headhunters and the Sweet Demons pretty hard today. But those are the men's and women's team respectively.
Like that's the names of them?
Yep.
Okay.
So the men's team is UND Headhunters, and then the women's team are the Sweet Demons.
Okay.
And so, so these pants are from
Nice.
the women, supporting the women's team, and then this sweatshirt is the men's and women's team. We got the patches on both. But, so when we were playing, we actually had a game that we played against St. John's this past year, in the spring. We had to play, or it was the fall. We played them in the fall, and we had to play at the, at Memorial Stadium, which is where
At
the
UND.
yeah, which is where the football team used to play. It's an outdoor stadium because our pitch was flooded. The pitch
Really?
is the pitch is
out by the park or whatever.
yeah, it's
You
over
guys
by
played?
BioLife.
Yep.
Yeah, and so our pitch was completely underwater. It had its own current. Like, it was crazy how bad. Because we had so much rain.
It had its own current.
Yeah, it did. We went over there and we were like, Jesus, this is not okay to play on. We were like, if there's a 5-meter scrum, someone's going to drown in the water. Like, we can't play here. And so we ended up we actually put in to play at Memorial Stadium. And then after the game, St. John's, well, there's nowhere to change because they locked all the doors.
Yeah.
Well, it was raining that day. So St. John's had to ride back to pretty much the city just outside of St. Cloud. And they had to drive all the way back there. They're like, we're not going to drive in our wet gear. So they were standing underneath the awning and the high performance center. They wouldn't let them in to change. And when they were standing underneath the awning to get out of the rain, the cops came and we got in trouble because somebody complained that they were naked.
Yeah,
and
you
so
won't let them in.
Yeah, and so our team got in trouble.
Fuck them.
Yeah, so it was like a whole thing, and don't quote me on that because I wasn't the one that dealt with it all, but that was kind of what I heard happen.
Who cares, dude? Honestly, here's the deal. Like, it's fucking raining out. Let
Yeah.
people inside.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Oh, this is for a student. I probably fucked that. They were like, this guy got in. Fucking locked the doors. This is
Yeah.
pathetic. No, but no, they're Fuck off.
It sucked.
If
And
that's how you are about your building, I got news for you. You're gonna get fired one day, and they're not even gonna fucking remember your name.
yeah, and it's
Alright?
crazy because it's like with how much money that we put in just as students alone,
Yeah,
but
students
not
paid
alone.
for that
like-
motherfucker. Fuck
Yeah.
you guys.
And
Lock
we're-
us out. Fuck you.
Yeah, and we're a team that you guys say is okay to have that we're representing you. We thought that we could at least be treated a little better.
No.
We had an emergency situation where our pitch couldn't. We still had to pay full price for the field, which wasn't that big of a deal. But I mean, it would be nice for them to work with us, which it's
great.
not even being used. That's what
Great.
bothered me.
Yeah, it just sits there. It's great. The university made you guys pay for it, even though you're wearing their fucking logo and shit.
Yeah.
They can fuck off.
So I mean, granted, like we aren't under the Athletics, so we can't use the UND logo or any of the logos that they have. So we have to come up with our own. But we are affiliated with the university. We're a
Right.
club team. We're saying we get SOFA funding, so it was a whole thing. But it's
Still.
over. It's done with now. That was the one gripe that I had with UND. I loved going there for the most part.
I had a few gripes with UND.
I think everybody does, especially with
I met
like
with
the housing
I
and
used
everything.
I used to just meet with the president a lot about problems and all that. I used to be involved with all that shit. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a little more of a thumb on things. So that was why I used to get a little more pissed off.
And then when I was in ARH, which is the Association of Residence Halls, we were the only governing body other than student government on campus that had some sort of power on campus with governing rules. So we were the governing body over the residence halls, and then student government had the rest of campus. They did pretty much anything else. So what we did is a lot of times we collaborated with them. But yeah, for the most part, like what was nice about housing, and I worked for them, and so This isn't just me trying to kiss ass or anything. But what was nice is that they were trying to be really, really transparent with us for the most part. You know, whenever they were trying to raise room rates or anything like that, they always came to ARH, and they were always, you know, letting us know why they're doing it, their situations. And they actually took into consideration a lot of the times of our concerns that we had with them. Yeah, and so, you know, they wanted a resolution passed. The only thing that bothered me about it was that they came in and they're like, this is a resolution to back us. We're doing this no matter what. We would just like some support from the student body. And so that was the only thing.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how it felt. And so...
Yeah, you gotta love that shit.
But then...
It's fake democracy is what it is.
It felt like it, but
fake democracy is how America thrives. Yeah. It's what we do.
But it was nice that they still took the time to come. You know, it was 7 p.m. They could have went home and just done this. You know, so it was still nice that they came and talked to us and did what they could. But...
Well, they did what they could. What'd they do?
So they came in, they talked to us, they listened to our concerns, and they did do stuff to change. Okay. When we brought up big concerns, they did come back. Like 1 year they were trying to raise rooms. I can't remember how much it was, but it was like 10% or something.
Considerable.
And then we had a huge debate about it. We were in there, the housing people were in there, and they were listening to us, and we were all off the walls. Like, we were very upset. And so they came back and they actually lowered their cost. And then they're like, this is our plan, this is why we're doing this. This is how much we're in debt. And so they're like, we need to get out of this hole that we're in.
Isn't that cute how they're in debt, but yeah, we got new buildings popping up all over the place?
So that's interesting because I didn't know this either. Housing is its own entity. It's separate. So anything that's happening with campus, like...
There's a lot of things that are totally separate.
There is, and that's one of those. So
but
even though
as like university, take care of your own motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
Students live there.
Yeah.
Help them out.
Yeah. And so they were like, we need to put in sprinkler systems here. And I was like, well, why wasn't this done to begin with? You know, we just built Wilkie. Like, this should have been a concern.
Wait, Wilkie didn't get sprinklers built into it?
No, Wilkie was built before all the residence halls had a sprinkler system in it.
Oh, you're talking about, new Wilkie or
old
Wilkie?
new Wilkie.
Okay.
Because I was here when old Wilkie was still
there.
Remember
70s Wilkie?
Dude, 70s Wilkie was
wait
amazing.
on the stairs, and you'd go, like, straight into the burger shack, and it's just... Yeah, I want a bacon cheeseburger, and dude's like, all right, and he would just cook you that shit up.
Oh, and this is my personal opinion, but old Wilkie... Shitty atmosphere, way better food. Way better than the new one.
10 out of 10.
Oh my 100%. Gosh. Yeah, and so... But I do really like the way that the new Wilkie looks, and it was really neat the way that they did everything.
It looks nice.
Yeah, and so the way that they did everything, they just kind of slapped a new building over the old one, because the old bricks are still there if you could see it.
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, and so they just basically took off the top of the old Wilkie... And like the dining center area, and then just built a new one on top of it, and then renovated the inside, which I thought was neat.
I wish I would have kept that fireplace, because that fireplace off to the right side. One of my first nights as a freshman, we got a fire permit to go there, and then we played football, and that was one of my friends, Keaton. We had to convince him for like a half hour to leave his room to come out with us and just have fun. And we were playing football, and he slipped and dislocated his knee and had to go in an ambulance to the hospital that night.
No shit.
He was like, "You fucks! I trusted you. I came out here. I trusted." He got his knee dislocated.
Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of our first times with him. Good stuff.
Dude, I had so much, like, some of my favorite memories have happened at Wilkie, or like just outside of Wilkie. Like a couple years ago, when my first year of being an RA, I made really good friends, Paul Henning, James Schmaltz, a bunch of other ones, Isaiah Pritzel. Like, we actually we actually did call ourselves a boy band. Like, we were called the L7s. Originally the Bike Smokes, some of them didn't like that very much, but we ended up being the L7s, was our name.
L7s?
We really liked the movie The Sandlot. And so when he calls him the L7 Weenie, that's where at least I believe we got it from.
Sandlot was dope.
That's a great movie. And so we did that. And so that was our name. And then we actually did a lot of videos. So if you go on YouTube, you can see a couple of our videos. One of them we did was a Taylor Bennett highlight tape, which was we pretended that I was a football star. And we did some of my highlights, things like I was trying to get recruited for a university. And it's just a complete spoof. Like, if you look at it, I'm a terrible thrower if you look in the video, and so it's bad. And so we did that. We did WWE moves in the snow part 1 and part 2. So if you look up the L7's WWE moves in the snow, we should pop up. But it took us a long time to create the video. We shot all of our footage in one night. When we had a snowstorm, we always did it. Like, those were the nights that we did it when there was a ton of snow. And so we did WWE moves on there, and then that night after we would get done, we'd look up audio from actual WWE moves, and we'd throw it over for the moves that we did. And it was so stupid, but it was the most fun that I've ever had. Oh, yeah. It was a blast.
It's fun.
And so that's where I got, like,
college
just
is a
outside
good
of
time
Wilkie.
just for that shit.
Oh, I have so many stories from college that I hope I can share in this time that we have.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Fuck, there's no rules here.
Well, I know.
I'm gonna show you Fed Smoker.
Okay.
One of our guys who just
Hey,
died.
bro, I'm on record for a moment. What is this place, anyways? What is this place?
You don't need to film me.
Oh, I knew a documentary. Listen here.
I don't care. I don't want to be.
This is America, you dumb son of a bitch, okay?
You dumb son of a bitch. I'm a private
Oh,
person.
oh my
I
God.
don't want
I'm
to be
fucking
filmed.
America,
Fuck
you
goddamn show.
stupid fuck. I can ask you anything I want.
And I can tell you no
You're
anytime
getting
I
a
want.
fucking baby raper on your face, okay,
You're not a baby
cocksucker?
raper. You're the one who looks like a baby raper.
Baby raper,
Would you
Chomo.
escape from jail?
What's up there, Chomo? Listen here. What do you guys
Jesus.
take your job here, there, fuckface?
Well, not by talking like that.
Oh, you know what? You're fired, bud.
No, I'm
okay?
not.
You're talking to
Make
me.
your
I'm a
teeth little more,
fucking
tough guy.
American,
Make
you
your teeth-
fuck.
Come on, tough guy.
You don't
Make
touch
your
my
teeth-
camera through the
make your
fence,
teeth,
you
tough guy. Come
faggot.
on, make your teeth.
I'm gonna talk to the sheriff's department about you, buddy, okay?
Go get him. Go get him.
And I'm gonna see.
Go get 'em.
Well, they're gonna watch it on the internet.
Go get him.
Well, how do you get a job here?
Not by
Tough
talking
boy.
like you. Not by talking
Are
like
you like what? You guys the ones all scared of the camera? Look at you. Look at you. You know what? You're fired, okay? You didn't follow protocol. How do you get a job here?
You know what protocol is?
Yeah, I take cops' badges all the time doing it. You know who you're talking to? A retired double agent there, you fucking
Talking to a
retard.
man who's lost.
You're talking to a man
Retired
who just
double
ruined your
agent there, you
fucking
Oh
life.
my God.
You just lost your life, okay, as far as your job
You're
goes.
threatening my life.
No, I told you
You're
job.
threatening my fucking life.
Job, bitch.
That's not what you said, asshole.
Well, we're changing it to job because you're taking
Well,
it out of
we're
context.
changing it
there.
to job.
What's your name, anyways?
What's yours?
Peterson Connell. You've just
Did
ruined
he-
your life.
Did he just pull a James Bond move
Yeah.
where he said last name first?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Why would you want to know?
Because I work all the time, all over the country.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
I wear these little wire things. See these wire? Oh, you just got your job there, buddy. It's baby raper on your face clothes, okay? Okay? Ta-ta there, retard.
Oh my
You
God.
didn't follow proto, buddy. You're done.
He literally just walks up to this fucking airport and just starts shitting on the security guy for no fucking reason. Just drives up.
He straight up, he
There
straight up
was
just
no-
went there looking for a fight.
Yeah, just went
I
there.
hated everything about that video. It was so bad. Oh my God.
So, this is one of the guys. Everyone's like, "Oh, you show people who died." This guy did actually die. Yeah, he got in a car accident and died.
No.
Yep. So, fuck.
So this guy or the cop?
Fed Smoker, right here. This guy, we call him Fed Smoker because
Oh no.
he smokes the feds, as he says. He's a retired double agent.
What a life.
CIA motherfucker.
How do I get a life like this? How do I just...
That's the thing, like,
Oh my
we're
God.
shitting on him, but this guy probably thinks he's the shit. Like, he has a dope life. In his brain, he has a kick-ass life going for him, man.
Oh, 100%.
In his brain, this guy's like, my life is the shit.
That is true success in my mind.
It is.
Whether or not you have a lot of money or not, if you think you're successful and you are happy with
True.
where you're at, that is 100% success.
True. Even if you gotta walk up to security guards
Yeah.
and just start calling them child molesters.
That was so bad. I hated that so much. I was so
fucking
uncomfortable.
chomo.
Jesus.
First, how does chomo work for child? Because wouldn't it be
Is
child
that
molester?
what he meant? I did not know what that word
means
meant.
child molester.
I don't like
It's
that.
like a really 70s term. It's really old.
Oh, really?
It's a really old term.
I don't like that at all.
But like, what does chomo? How does that work? Because child, it would be chimo, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would
It would
make
have
more
to be
sense.
chimo. It couldn't be chomo. Chomo just sounds better, so that's why people say that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Unless, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't like
don't
it.
like that.
I don't like it either.
You don't like this? What? You don't
No.
like Fed Smoker?
I didn't like anything about that video.
Do you?
I just like it when, dude. One of my favorite things to do when I'm bored is to find a very controversial topic on Facebook, right, and just run down this rabbit hole of comments.
go read the comments?
Yes, I will. The next thing I
And then
know,
just
3 hours have
laugh.
gone by, and I'm just like, how did this happen? The political ones,
They're
some
great.
of my favorite.
They're great.
I hate talking about
I
politics.
start 'em.
I hate talking about politics, but I'll read them. It's amazing.
One of my
It's
favorite things to
amazing.
do is I'll kind of start a little fire. I'll just kind of light some kindling, and then I'll just throw a can of gasoline on it, and then turn off the comments. And I just won't read any of the comments, and I'll come back in like 2 days and just go see how that fire brewed up. And it's usually the biggest shitstorm. And it's the best because you get people originally replying to you, but then it turns into just this
Yeah.
internal hate shit slinging fest in
Oh,
the
yeah.
comments. It's the best.
You look.
It's the best.
I'll go on Facebook and something will happen, and I'll see like somebody comment like the comments, and then underneath that comment, says 97 replies. And I'm like,
you know that's a good one.
buckle up, Buttercup.
That's
I
a
better
good
go
one.
grab some dinner because I'm
That's
going
a
to be
good
here
one.
for a while. And so, but I do that stuff, but in real life with my friends. Like, I will start shit. I'll stir the pot just for no. I've seen this video. Oh my god.
Brian Silva, he's a good guy.
Oh.
That foo-foo lame shit, I ain't with it. I sent some shots at your fitted. Swag, bitch. Yes, man. Yeah, you mad. Cause I'm God, nigga.
Oh.
Every time I come around, my chopper go. Young, handsome, rich, savage. Hit your bitch with my dick, nigga.
Oh my
I'm
god.
that nigga. Actual bitch. I'm finna hit her with the hit stick and pass it to the squad, nigga. Swear to God, legend. Take your bitch in here with the.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he's in jail.
Shocker.
He is.
Shocker on that one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you're just kind of wondering, how the fuck did this guy ever get big?
It's because of this.
Mm-hmm.
You watch it and it's like,
What the
this
fuck?
is, I need to show my friends because of how crazy this is.
So fucking stupid.
And so, yeah, and that's exactly what happens. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is, some people have that like character that they do on the internet, and they know that like
Yeah.
they don't have good content that's like going to draw people in, so they need to be an enemy.
So
they need to be like they need to be a villain in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do that, and then they just get this following because it is those people like, you need to see how stupid this is, and it captures our entertainment. And then you're like, well, he made another one. How can he top this last one?
Well, it's just how does this get monetized? Like someone at YouTube's like, yo, let's put ads on these videos. Like, fuck, man.
God.
Have some morals. Someone have some morals, please.
Jesus. Yeah,
Jesus.
it's bad. And so obviously this guy just did not have like a good goal. Like, it just wasn't a good goal that he had with these videos. It was just someone that was looking to get clout. Like, that's exactly what it was.
Anyway,
So if you
Anyway.
want to see a good video,
I just like, yeah, go
you
ahead.
should. I'll show you that highlight tape because that's the one that started this whole thing.
Go for it.
Okay.
Have you seen, speaking of social workers, have you seen, I'm trying to think. What is that?
Do you want to click on that top one? This is a video that started it all. Like, I shouldn't say it all. There's 4 videos that we made, but this is the one that kind of like started this whole thing that we loved. And so obviously this was a spoof. It has 600 views for now.
Jesus. Oh my god. Then it's just a beautiful pass, like,
Oh yeah, I am throwing all of these passes, even the ones that are off screen, just so that people don't think that I can't throw. But it's a. It was just supposed to be a
Just starts dancing.
spoof. Yeah.
just walking down the stairs casually. Damn, this is at New Wilkie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen New Wilkie like this.
New Wilkie's not. It's nice out there. But then,
20,000. 99% completion. Shut the fuck up.
but yeah, so that started our whole like thing that we did because I mean, granted, 600 views isn't a lot, but for someone that's never done this before
It's
or got anything, it is kind of intoxicating. You're like, the next one could be the one that blows up, you know? Because it's like 600 views is quite a bit, and like, granted, probably 590 of those are me, but still, like that's 600 views. So,
Oh, let's look at Kai. I haven't seen Kai in a while. Let's see how Kai's doing.
oh,
Let's check in with Kai. Remember Kai? He saved,
I do.
Yeah. Smashed someone with the head with a hammer. Saved him.
oh my god,
Jesus Christ, Jake.
yikes!
It's alright.
Whoa.
We'll let it roll. The show goes on.
Skateboarding, surfing it up. Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're lovable. And it doesn't matter your look, skills, or age, or size, or anything. You're worthwhile. No one could ever take that away from you. Now, this stuff right here, I was
Good
driving
message.
in-
Good
I was
message off the
it.
bat.
Stop,
Yeah.
stop.
passenger side of this car, and
he comes over on there. He was over by the recycling center. He says, "Oh, when I was in the Virgin Islands, 30 years old on a business trip, I saw this 14-year-old." I was like, "You what?" He's like, "I raped this 14-year-old." Starts crying, gives me a big hug. He's like,
Oh my
300-pound guy.
God.
I'm like, "Holy shit, you must be f***ing, man. Like, what's he talking about?" I didn't take him seriously at first. Comes driving down this way. He's like, "You know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ, and I can do anything I f***ing want to." And watch this, bam! And he smashed into this f***ing guy right there, pinned him in between that f***ing truck. And so I hop out. I look over, the guy's pinned there. I mean, like, freight train riders know this. Like, if you get pinned between something, do not f***ing move that shit.
Freight train riders
like,
know this.
Motherfucker, I ran in, I grabbed the keys. He's f***ing sitting there like nothing even happened. And like, f***ing, like, man, if you start driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here. I hop on out, and so I grabbed the bag, I threw it over by that pole right there, and then buddy gets
I love
out,
every
this way,
person in the
trying to
car
help
behind him
runs up
is staring
the
at the
ground,
camera.
man, like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I f***ing ran up behind him with a hatchet, smash,
God.
Yeah.
The lady said you saved her life.
She was the one who got grabbed by that f***er. You know what? F*** is cool. That guy ain't. Shit.
How'd you get in his car? How did you?
I was hitchhiking. Good thing I was hitchhiking. Yeah, people say don't hitchhike. Well, this is what happens. At least I was here.
So he did this on purpose.
Dude, that guy was fucking cooped out, man. Like, he'd be on howlay. Like, I don't even see any breath in him, you know what I'm saying?
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai? Can I get spelling for it?
Straight out of Dogtown, K-A-I.
K-A-I, do you have a last name?
No, bro.
Do we have a location on Dogtown?
Where is Dogtown?
I don't know.
So
I know where the Dog Mahal is. I'll tell you that.
How old are you?
I can't call it.
Okay. What? Have you ever experienced anything like today? And what made you take the actions that you did?
Where?
That woman was in danger. He just finished what looked like at the time killing
Santa
somebody.
Monica.
Makes sense.
And if I hadn't done that, he would have killed more people. So, he's dead. Good.
Oh, he's dead?
You ever experienced anything like
him
that?
the
And he's
fucking
walking
shit.
the streets.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
did this just happen? And
It
then-
just happened, like, recently.
And the cops weren't like, we should
talked
probably
to the
take you in
cops.
for some questioning.
He said he talked to the cops and they got his statement. That was it.
Yeah, I started smashing him in the head and the teeth, busted out all his teeth. Motherfucking the sheriffs, not the policy enforcers, show up and start like they're like, yeah, so what happened? I mean, like, just give me any old name and just give me old birthday, whatever. Just yeah.
What happened today after the? You're obviously free now. Were you arrested? What was the process? What did they do to you when they came out? Obviously, they found out that you did the right thing, but the time that from the accident until now, where have you been?
Well, you started following I cleaned his motherfucking head wide open with a hatchet. He stood up like he was pulled right up, right? And like, I'm like, bro.
It's adrenaline right there.
Christ, I'll be the Antichrist, man. Like that. And he starts following me off this way, so I figure I'll lure him away from the crowd. So I'm running off this way. I got a hatchet in one hand, this bag I'm carrying over with another hand. I start running off that way. And so a couple of the people who was bystanders to it came over and told me to stop. And I was like, why stop? He's like, the cops are already on their way. I was like, is he back up and doing anything? And somebody said that he was like masturbating in front of the school or whatever this place is right here. Yeah.
Dude, there's some weird people out there.
There are some weird strangers out here.
I was put into the back of the sheriff's wagon.
And that's gonna be my job one day, is to help
You're
these
gonna deal
people.
with this guy.
Oh, that's fine, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
obviously went to school
I got put in the back of
for
the
it.
Sheriff's wagon. The sheriff was like,
Have you seen the trials of Gabriel Fernandez on Netflix yet?
No, I haven't. I was thinking about
Yo,
watching it.
That's about those social workers that got indicted.
Yep.
Crazy fucking episode.
I know. I watched like the little trailer on Netflix.
So what
It looks
happens-
good though.
Yeah, it's just basically shows that the bureaucracy and the secrecy of California's government kind of fucked over a lot of kids.
Yikes.
They kind of covered it up because they didn't want to deal with it. And yeah, what happens when you start covering shit up.
That's wild. That's bad. That's so bad.
Yeah, it's
so
terrible. There was
bad.
like 150 kids around his age that died too that didn't make the cut, I guess, just because it was just before anyone blew the whistle on it.
Wow.
Yep, really cool, really great stuff. Really
I'll have to
great
watch
stuff.
it. Yeah, it's in my my watch list.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I just watch. Well, I really only watch Netflix when I go to bed. The Office.
Yep, no,
So that's all I watched. So I'm like,
that's
I'm not
still,
gonna
like number one in the world.
It's number 10 actually.
Is it?
Yeah,
That makes sense. Just 'cause...
yeah. Number 1 is on at least on the Netflix thing, like 'cause, you know that like they have those numbers on there now that they're number
The
1 on.
rankers.
The number 1 on there is like Love Is Blind. That new. I don't know if it's new, but it says the finale, so I don't know if it's new or not. My cousin was telling me that she watched it.
I've never
And
heard
she was
of
like,
it.
it's super good. So
Never even heard of it.
I haven't either until she talked about it, and then all of a sudden it's popping up all over my Netflix.
I'm getting worried about...
That's.
I'm trying to...
Do you want to like go get some paper towels or something?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
There's no way this down.
So.
It's going to handle that.
Oh man.
That's how I handle my problems. I just cover
I like
up.
it. I like it. That's
I
what
just
I would
cover
do.
it up for a little bit, and then hopefully it kind of just makes itself fixed.
That's makes sense to me.
That's how
That's like the same thing
that's
as a
how I'm
kid, as
handling
I used to do as a kid.
Yeah.
It's like something scary. You just throw your head on the covers.
Just
It'll go away.
ignore it.
If
Ignore
you
it.
can't see it, it can't see you. It's
Yeah,
a T-Rex.
exactly. Ignore it.
Yeah, 100%.
Completely ignore the problem. If you have debt collectors calling you, don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
No. Ignore
That's
them.
such a bad idea.
Oh my god, this is terrible advice.
Oh man. So what was your favorite thing about college?
Oh god. Probably just freshman year.
Just freshman year.
Yeah, probably. Just I had a lot of fun. That's it. It was so fucking easy. College was very easy.
You thought so?
Yeah, I just hated it. I just hated going to class and getting up in the morning. I loved like the fun part of college, but going to school, hated it.
Yeah, that
the
was-
professors made me buy their fucking books that they wrote. So it's like, what is this, a pyramid scheme? Like I was just super skeptical of the whole fucking thing all the time. So that's why I just never really bought into it. So I left.
I was lucky enough to have professors that always tried to find the cheapest book. You know, social work was kind of a big thing for that. You know, always helping people, understanding that we're college kids. That was a big thing that was nice about them. I was like, we know you don't have a lot of money, so we're going to tell you if we actually even need the book. You know, I mean, I can't tell you when after my first year, because I was in all those classes for forensic science and stuff. I bought so many books, and none of them even left the cellophane. You know, there was like 3 or 4 of them that
I
never
have
left the
books.
cellophane.
I still have books right now that are in the original wrapping.
Yep.
And it pissed me off because you bring them back and they're like, we can buy it back from you for like $7. No, I'd like to return it.
Yeah.
I didn't use this. I would like to. No, you can't return books.
Yep, exactly.
Fuck you.
And those loose leaf ones,
Yeah.
where you have to buy your own 3-ring binder,
Fuck that.
biggest scam of them all. Because
Yeah,
you can't
and
even sell them back.
No, and it's because they come with a fucking CD or some code that you have to use for your online homework or some shit.
Yep.
You guys can fuck off with your fucking books. You guys can suck a giant, fat, throbbing cock with those fucking books. I fucking hate those teachers with that shit. It pisses me off, dude. How much are those classes? They're like $3,000 a fucking class.
They're not cheap.
And
Not
then
cheap.
they make you buy the book that they wrote, and it's in fucking loose leaf, and you can't return it. And they only make you read paragraph 7 in chapter 2. And it's such a scam. It's such a fucking scam. Go to a community college or some shit.
Yeah, I quit buying books until the first assignment that came out. If I actually needed the book for the assignments, that was the only time I bought assignment, because all the professors used PowerPoint.
Yep.
And their PowerPoints were always online.
Yep.
So I just used the PowerPoint to study. Like
exactly.
I think after my freshman year, I think I maybe bought
I stopped
6
buying
books total.
I stopped buying a lot of books.
Yeah.
And especially, I even asked professors, I was like, do I need this? And they're like, well, is it on the syllabus? And it's like, yeah, but there's a lot of shit on the syllabus that you aren't even going to follow. And there's a rule, it says right on the bottom, this syllabus is subject to change and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's bullshit. Why can your rules just change whenever you fucking want?
It sucks.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's bullshit.
Right.
But like, that's why, like, the first thing when I get to class and I read, this syllabus is a living document and is subject to change. No, it's not. It's a sheet of paper that you typed. It's not alive.
Right.
You typed it. How about you set some ground rules for yourself there, bud? That's all it is. It's you don't want to follow your own rules.
Yeah, it's
Grow up.
it's a tough thing.
So that's why I didn't. That type of shit. I didn't like the people in charge of the place. It's not the learning I didn't like. I didn't like the people running it.
Right. And so, yeah, like I said, for me, you know, my degree that I got mine in and the classes that I took, very, very understanding people. I lost my grandma last year in March.
Yeah, that's
and
tough,
so
man. Sorry to hear that.
that, you know, she was really sick, and so you know, she fought a really long time. But I was really struggling there, and this is in grad school, and all of my professors worked with me to help me stay on track. You know, they allowed me to turn things in late, you know, with minimal deductions and stuff, and so, and that's in grad school, so it was fantastic. I was really lucky to have that support system even in school.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think for me, that's what made college
Yeah,
the best times of my life.
Yeah, I was in aviation and business.
Yep,
They don't give a fuck about you in aviation and business.
You're just cattle. Like that's what they're herding you through.
Those are like
to
the
get you
two
through.
biggest schools there, or whatever. Yep. So like they just don't give a fuck about you.
There's what? How many people do you think are in the aviation program there?
It's like 50% of the campus.
Yeah,
like
and
literally.
Yeah, it's insane.
There's like 180 fucking aircraft total, and they don't give a shit about you.
No, and so
I'll leave. Okay. Mm-hmm. We have a contract so big with Air China, all of the American students could leave, and they wouldn't give a shit.
No, and don't they have enough money to stay afloat? Like if UND goes under, they can stay afloat themselves.
The flight school is going to stay around.
Yeah,
even if UND doesn't.
Yeah, yep. And that's insane to me. Yep. And there's that separate entity again. Yep. So it's crazy. Yep. But yeah, so college for me though, like obviously I'm talking a lot about college because that's the only interesting part of my life right now because I don't have a job yet.
You'll get there, don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I had so much fun. Like I miss it every day. Yeah, I had made so many friends, and so
don't miss it too much.
You don't.
You can't miss anything too much. Don't miss anything behind you.
I know.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's like missing a book you already read. Dude, you fucking read that book. You already know what's gonna fucking happen. Who gives a shit?
That's true. Yeah. And so
you got plenty of other shit to do. There's other books out there to read. You don't gotta fucking worry about that.
Yeah, and
every time you catch yourself missing something you did before, it's because you don't have something right now that you like too.
That's probably
so
that's
you need
probably
to fucking
true.
think like, what am I doing that I need to change this for?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just studying.
I find myself missing a lot of things, and I'm like, well, that's bad. So I clearly need to do something. So I made this podcast, and now I love this, and
this is awesome.
Became a comedian, and I just found myself reminiscing a lot in the past. And so I was like, well, I don't want a job then because jobs are stupid. So I stopped having like a job that I cared about because I really don't care. As long as a job pays me to like get through until this pays me enough to not have a job, I don't give a fuck care. I really don't. Like there's my job right now. It's hilarious to like because I work for a business that's like inside of another business. So like my job itself, the company I work for is great, but like we work for inside of a company that's just the most mismanaged shit show I've ever seen in my life. So like watching them try to preach, I mean, first of all, they pay their factory guys on the press, they pay them like $17.50 an hour and then tell them that they need to care about their job. It's like, yeah, you barely pay them. They don't care about their fucking job.
Right.
Care about them and they'll start caring about you, asshole.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
They don't. You pay them nothing, and then you expect them to. Well, why is this not printing well? You don't pay them enough to give a fuck about if it's printing well. You pay them enough to push the start button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I mean, how would the managers get their bonuses if they're busy paying all the worker ants? Yeah,
I get that.
I mean, they can't be in their yacht. I mean, hey man, how can they have their spinners on their cars if you're shit? You want that food, but dude, I really want this new house.
Yeah.
I mean, I get you want food. I get it. I get you want health benefits, but man, I want to get out of here on Friday early, and I don't want to fucking pay. Yeah, no.
There's a reason those are the companies that are hiring just because there's so much turnover rate.
Well,
people that are happy with their job aren't going to leave.
It's funny to me to sit back and watch these people even pretend to not know what the problem is. It's like, you guys are the problem. You fucking idiots in charge.
Right.
And I know they listen to this. That's kind of why I'm saying it.
That's funny. So.
Do better. You guys suck. Do better. You suck. Okay, anyway.
Does that thing work? The massager? Or like the thing for your shoulders?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Do you like it?
Yeah. That's Bray's like a chiropractor.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he is.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to him. I got a bad back.
Yeah.
I was going up at school and then my legs. Now that I'm home, I don't have a chiropractor down here. So
dude, talk to Bray.
I will.
He's not like I think he's in T9 or trimester 9, which is like the clinicals. He works at a chiropractor place now, so just he'll get you in wherever he works.
As long as he doesn't snap my neck.
It's at a real place. It's not like he.
Well, right. He's not doing it out of the garage, like under the wire or under the radar.
He's got like a licensed guy and stuff with him too and everything.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, he's doing great.
Good.
I'm trying to get him on this fucking show, and he won't come on the podcast.
You won't do it?
No.
I miss that kid.
He's really shy.
Yeah.
When it comes to public things like that, he barely posts to Facebook.
He was one of my favorite people to play hockey with.
Yeah, he's dope.
Oh my god, he's great.
He's a good guy. He hasn't played hockey in a very long time though. I don't even know if he'll skate.
Really?
I mean, he will. I just don't. He's so like busy with fucking school. This kid studies every quarter inch of the day, like constantly studying.
That's insane.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
We'll see. Anyway, what's it like going through school for you?
So for me to go through, when I was going through school, obviously, like I said, I don't think I got to finish this. I think we got off track. But my freshman year did not do well. You know, I mean, I was staying up late, not going to class, except wiffle ball and floor hockey. And I ended up finishing with a 1.1 GPA after my freshman year.
That'll put you on probation.
Yeah. Oh, after my first semester, I was on probation, and then second semester, I got a letter. We don't want you anymore.
Really?
Yeah. And so that was terrifying, because I honestly think if I didn't make connections with people, I would have just thrown in the towel. Because it was super easy for me to just be like, I'm done with this. College isn't for me. That's fine. You know, like, nobody in my family went to a 4-year university yet. So I was like, this is just the life that I'm destined to live. I'm fine with being at home. And I can just go to Metro State and hopefully get a degree there in business or something, you know. And I remember after my first semester, I talked with my mom, and she said, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't want to do forensic science. I suck at math, apparently, and I suck at chem. Chem kicked my ass.
Chem's tough, dude.
Hard.
Oh, especially organic chem. It's very hard.
Didn't even make it there. Couldn't get out of Gem Chem.
Really?
Yeah. The second semester, I was failing so bad I didn't even take the final.
Well,
like, there was no way for me to take that.
I
for
am
me to pass.
glad that you figured it out in Gen Chem, because if you once you get to OChem, that is a bitch.
That's what I heard. And what sucked for me too is I was a person that was pretty proud, so I didn't ask for help. You know, I had one of my best friends,
That's
Lauren.
hard, man.
She was a chem major, like she was going to school to be a chem teacher, and she was a resource that I could have used, and I just didn't ask her because I was too proud. I was like, I can figure this out on my own, and I didn't have any study skills, and so that sucked. And then when I talked with my mom, you know, she was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Kind of want to do business. I think I'd be good at sales. I'm a pretty good people person." She goes, "You don't need to be at a university for sales." She's like, "Just come home." And she goes, "We'll do something." I was like, "Well, I really want to stay here." Then I changed my mind. I went undeclared my second semester. Tried to take all those classes that I failed over again. You know, definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, and that's exactly what happened. Like, I did the exact same thing, thinking things would change, and nothing changed. And so I got the letter in the mail saying, "We don't want you back." And so I was like, this sucks. And so I remember I went and I talked to, I had to go talk to the dean of students, or of my school, and literally I owe everything to this guy, because he took a chance on me. His name's Tom Rand. He was the dean of the whatever college I was into. I can't remember what it was at this time. But he was the dean of that student and of that college, and I talked him into giving me another shot for another semester. I told him, you know, I was going through a lot, and he took a chance on me, thankfully. And then after that, that summer I really had time to kind of self-reflect, see what I needed to do better, talk to my family, and they gave me another shot. And my mom's like, "Go ahead and go back, but this time you're doing it on your dime." I was like, "That's fair." And so I went back and killed it. Like, first semester, I think I had like a 3.8.
Nice,
then I went back, and social work just fit so well for me. And then from there on, the rest was history. I didn't get into the grad program right away, which was devastating. I was really tough on that.
Most people don't.
Well, I fought to get waitlisted, and then luckily from the waitlist I got in. And then I did 2 internships. I did one at the Grand Forks Senior Center, which was awesome. Found out I love seniors. Didn't think I would, because we had to rank our populations of what populations we wanted to work with when we got placed for our internship, and I ranked the elderly population last. I think seniors, I was like 13 out of 13. I was like, I do not want to work with them. They just seem like they're bitter and old, and like I don't want to deal with that. No, I was completely wrong. And then I still got placed at the senior center, and I fell in love with it. And then for my second internship that I did in grad school, I was at Ultra Hospice, and that was very.
Hospice care is crazy.
It is, and it's
emotionally charging.
You know, for me, it wasn't. I was really lucky because I don't know if it was just the lens that I went in there with or the view that I had on it, but I look at it as these people are dying no matter what.
Yeah.
And we're just here to make it easier. We're here to make them comfortable. And it was like us, like us turning a blind eye to it doesn't mean it's not happening. Yeah. And so if I can do something to make it easier on both the patient and the family, and I can help them, it's very rewarding and it's very gratifying. And I know that's hard to believe in a very morbid situation.
No, it's not. I mean, one of my friends lives in Vegas now. His dad just died recently from pancreatic cancer. I went down there. I just told the story actually because one of my professors told me that wasn't a good enough reason to miss class, and she gave me a failing grade.
Really?
Because of it. Yeah, that fucking bitch.
That's horrible. Like,
I'm trying to remember her name because
man.
I would love to just give her a public shout out. That fucking whore. She's in charge of airport management. God damn, if she got murdered in a plane crash or something, I wouldn't fucking care.
Jesus.
Have you ever seen those mob movies when like the bosses just find out someone got murdered and they just go back to reading their paper and eating their waffle?
Okay, yeah, like the
that's
Godfather,
me.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I would just be a mob boss, just like, what's that? She died? Okay.
Yikes.
Now we just go back. Dude, she literally failed me because I left to go help. Like, yeah, I went down there to like help clean the house and just generally just do what I can to help out down there. And she gave me an F for that. Yeah, so she can go fuck herself.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway.
sorry.
Yeah. No, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't go to school there.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. But anyway, hospice, like, because they were with Ken for most of hospice down there. Mm-hmm. They were fucking awesome.
Yeah. And it's great. It's a very rewarding field, and I wouldn't mind actually doing that for a career.
Yeah, they were fucking awesome. They brought the van up and, like, all the medical stuff. And he fucking wanted snacks, and they got him snacks. And it was the shit. It was good stuff.
It is, and it's very awesome.
That was my first look at... I've never seen or heard of hospice before that. So.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was, when I was in 8th grade, my great-grandpa who used to live with us, my great-grandpa and my great-grandma used to live with us. Mm-hmm. And after this, I'll tell you a story about my great-grandma, because she is a hoot. She's 90. She just turned 97 last week.
Still alive?
Last Saturday. Yeah, it's crazy.
Woo!
My grandma that passed away in March, she was 69, I believe.
How did she die so
She had
curious?
Yeah, she had stage 3B lung cancer. Ooh. She got diagnosed the summer before I went to college.
Did she smoke?
Yeah, she was a big smoker. COPD, emphysema, the works. She had it all, and she was the best woman on this planet. I could seriously talk about her for hours. She was one of my. She was probably my favorite person on this planet. What? That was my grandpa. My grandpa bought me a car. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember something like that. It was a Pontiac.
Nope, it was a Chrysler 300.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I have. 2005 Chrysler 300. Yeah. And I still have that baby. I just drove it over here.
Did Taylor have the fucking Pontiac? No. Taylor had an SUV.
He had an SUV. Yeah. I can't remember what he had.
I can't remember. Someone in that group had a fucking Pontiac. That someone bought them. I'm trying to remember. God damn it. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, and so so she got diagnosed right before I left. But my great grandpa, he died, and when I was in 8th grade, he was on hospice. I think he had 3 different cancers, and
shit.
he had one. I can't remember what he had. I think he had leukemia. Don't quote me on this. Obviously, nobody's gonna look at my grandpa.
Blood cancer, right?
Yeah, that one's blood cancer. I think he had leukemia. I could be wrong. If my family listens to this, they're probably gonna flame me for this. But I was a kid,
He's doing his best.
But I know that when it came back for the last one, it was bone cancer, and and I stayed up. And I think that was one of the moments where I realized that I love helping people. I think that was a very defining moment because they live with us. My mom and I live in a duplex, and my great grandma and my great grandpa lived downstairs from me from I think when I was 2 until my great grandma moved out when I was a junior in high school. So she was down there a while. My grandpa was there till he passed away. He actually passed away in our house.
Sorry, man. That's tough.
It is, but he was comfortable, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And I was glad that we could be there. That was my first experience with death for the most part.
It's a very strange. The first time
you
deal
weird
with
feeling.
It's a very. As morbid as it sounds, I've dealt with it so fucking much in my short life that I'm pretty used to it.
Yeah.
As terrible as it sounds, like everyone pretty much that I loved has died. That's kind of how it goes.
And I've been fairly lucky. I've lost 3 grandparents, and that's it.
Tough.
And so
it's hard, though, man.
That we're in that close family. Yeah, I've lost 3 I lost a grandfather in a motorcycle accident. He died when I was a kid. Wasn't wearing a helmet and hit a guardrail, and that was kind of it for him. And he was on my dad's side. He was my dad's stepdad, I believe. I don't know if my grandma and him were married or not. But then my great grandpa was the one that died, and then my grandma just died last year. Yeah.
What even is marriage at this point?
So you get benefits, pretty much. Like that's exactly what it is.
So you can get health care.
Yeah, you have the common law marriages now that are legal, and if you live together for 7 years. Yeah. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, so
I think what I'm gonna do when I get married is I'm just gonna have like a little campus, and it's gonna be like I'm gonna have my own little house, and my wife's gonna have her own little house, and I'm gonna have a little house for my kids. But we are not gonna be all in the same fucking room. We aren't going to be all. We're not doing that.
Right.
Maybe I'm just because I've been so isolated for so long that like maybe I'm used to that. But I don't know if I could just come home and go to the same bed every night as someone else. Because, like, dude, I don't want to be in the same bed as someone else all the time. That's your wife? Yeah, maybe for you. I don't know about me.
That's how my grandpa and my grandma were. They slept in separate rooms.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think that
I don't know if I want to do separate rooms, because separate rooms just kind of, like, I don't know about that. All of my friends who had parents that slept in separate rooms were like, it's like, oh, yeah, dude, your parents are just waiting for you to move out to get divorced is all that is.
Oh, see, and that's not how they were. You know, I mean, my grandpa loved my grandma.
It might have been snoring or something.
Immensely.
Too.
I think that's what it was, too. My grandpa watched TV when he goes to bed. My grandma can't. So I think that was a big thing, too.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, they had a happy marriage, until she died. And
yeah, see, because everyone needs their own space, too.
yeah, and I think that really helped them, too. It's like, no matter what, I'm going to bed. If we're mad, I don't have to see it. It was one of those things. And
my door gets shut, and I'm in my own little space now, and you can't just come in. We're not done talking. It's like, yes, we are, because I shut my door, and my door's shut, and that's it. That we're done. That's how. Yeah, I get it.
And
Trust
so
me, I get it.
But yeah, so my grandma was on hospice, and then that was kind of what drove me to do social work. I think that was one of the big factors. Was when she got diagnosed with cancer, I saw how much her social worker helped her. And
are you trying to stick around here for social work, or what are you trying to do?
That seems like what my plan is going to be. I know. For me personally, the city is too hustle and bustle for me.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind moving to a suburb. I have an aunt and uncle that live in Amber Grove Heights, and they live in like a little development. Fantastic development.
You ever thought about getting out of the Midwest?
No, I am too close with my family to move out of the Midwest.
I'm very close with my family too, but airplanes exist.
I know. That's costs a lot of money.
Social
Those
workers
tickets
pay a lot of money.
Some of them. Depends on where you do. I want to work in a hospital.
You need to look at, as terrible as it sounds, just look at leaving the Midwest. Yeah. Just look at the financial options, because I never considered leaving the Midwest either until this whole comedian thing came up and I started flying down to the Southwest area a lot.
Yeah.
Housing's very cheap down there.
Is it?
Pays a lot more down there.
Colorado's nice. I like Colorado.
Colorado is a beautiful area. Colorado's kind of expensive to live in.
It is, yeah.
But
I like the cold though. I like that's the big thing. Like I like winters. I like all that.
Northern California pays pretty well.
Is it? God.
Nevada pays pretty well.
Man.
You can go north for winter.
Yeah.
Family would love to come down by you more than I'm sure you would love to go up by them.
That's
too.
True.
So
yeah.
Just there's a lot of people have the idea because we're humans. We like staying close to our tribe. That's what we do. But leaving your tribe's not always bad.
Right. And for me, I'm all my mom's got. It's just my mom and I, and so
I feel that.
I love her too much to just leave.
Bring her with.
Not a bad idea. I'll have to talk to her about
Bring
that.
her
See if
with.
she wants to bounce, but I know that she loves.
Has
she's
she been
an
up
East
here
Side.
her whole life?
Oh yeah, she's East Side, born and raised. Still live there. She moved. We live a block away from where she grew up. My grandpa still lives in that house. We live a block away from my grandpa, and so I mean, she's East Side, born and raised. East Side of St. Paul. 4 generation going to Johnson High School. I'm the 4th.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I mean, my whole family is born and raised on the East Side, and so it's just kind of a tradition that we stay over there. I played
high. Tradition is
what?
Respecting a dead man's wishes.
That's okay,
I get you.
Yeah,
I read that the other day.
That's funny.
Dead people want me to do this, so I have to. Like that's pretty much what tradition is.
That makes sense.
Tradition's a good thing, though. A lot of times, tradition exists because it's successful.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, and
it's kind of what tradition is.
Exactly, and my family, we take a lot of pride being on the East Side. Like I said, I mean, we played all of our sports over on the East Side. I played high school hockey for St. Paul Johnson, which is a huge tradition. They have one of the oldest hockey programs in Minnesota.
Yeah.
In Minnesota, so they had a really good run this year.
State
Actually,
tourney's coming up.
I know they didn't make it. They got beat in the quarterfinals this year. They were a number 2 seed.
State tourney.
I am too.
People listening who don't understand, like, oh, fucking high school sports. Listen, I'm the same way. I don't think high school sports are all that great either. But I will tell you something. The XL Energy Center gets more people in it for the high school state tournament than they do for any fucking Wild game.
Yeah, it's
Let me
insane.
Tell you, it's fucking crazy. Plus, these kids are very talented.
Yeah, you aren't going to see a better high school game than in any sport.
Dude, it looks like college players.
They do, and that's because a lot of them are going to play
They're
somewhere.
already committed.
Oh yeah. Look at Casey Middlestad, who played for Eden Prairie. Played 1 year in college for the Gophers, and then went and played. Now he's pro for the Sabres. It's insane.
I had a sign at the Ralph. It was like a very huge picture of him trying to do a pull-up.
Yeah, was that you that had that? I remember seeing that. That was so funny.
Oh my massive pull-up sign.
That was so funny. I can even do a pull-up.
Dude, it was so funny. I couldn't believe he couldn't do a single pull-up, and I was like, I have to make a sign.
But he has the last laugh now. He's making how much money in the NHL, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's absolutely. It's just because we aren't doing that, so we get to make signs.
Exactly.
You make $100 million, I make a sign.
Oh, yeah.
That's how this works.
No, before we get off topic, well, we already are off topic, but I wanted to tell this story about my grandma, my great-grandma. This is one of my favorite stories. She, so, like I said, my great-grandma used to live downstairs from us, and I had to have been about 10 or 11, I think, maybe a little older. I was staying home alone for the first time. Home alone because my mom was out on business, but my great-grandparents were still downstairs. This was around Halloween, and I stayed up a little later than I should have. I had school the next day. I stayed up a little later than I should have, and I think I watched Friday the 13th.
Like the real one?
The real one, like the real one, and that was a mistake.
Yeah,
I was already terrified.
That's scary a little bit.
Oh yeah, it was a good movie. Don't get me wrong, I love the movie, but I was like, now it's time for bed. I'm home alone. This is a terrifying moment. I think I slept with the lights on in the living room because my house is a 1-bedroom. Like the upstairs and the downstairs both are a 1-bedroom. Yeah. So my mom used to sleep on the couch, and then I slept in
the room,
real bedroom. Yeah. But there was no door.
Oh.
There's no door.
How many times did you get caught jerking off?
I never. What? It wasn't my thing. No. Yeah.
It wasn't your thing.
It wasn't my thing. No.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Not my thing. But
I only did it like twice a day. It really wasn't my thing when I was that old.
No.
Fucking playing with you. Go on.
I know. It's everybody's thing. But anyway,
it's the thing.
It's the thing.
The thing. If you're on an island, there's only one thing that's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Death, and you're gonna jerk off. Those are the guarantees on that island.
But no, I was pretty respectful when I came to that. You know.
Good.
Yeah.
You're good.
And so, but
I
anyway.
was not, but you go ahead.
So the way that our house was set up was that we had the stairs that went upstairs, and then our door that could lock. Mm-hmm. We didn't keep it locked because we had the front door that was locked.
Separated.
Yeah, but it's a duplex, so it had a door. So you open it, and then from the hallway, you're in the living room right away.
Nice.
And then if you take a left and then another left, you're in the bedroom. So there's one wall that separates the hallway, like the stairs, and then the bedroom. And there's no door there. And then the living room leads into the kitchen, and there's like a little wall that like goes along, and then it goes into the kitchen. It's hard to explain, but this is important, the layout of the house for this story. So I'm laying in bed, and I watch TV when I go to bed. So I was watching The Simpsons, and I think it was a Halloween special that they had on or whatever. And so that was kind of spooky, you know, with the music and stuff. When you're 12, you're anything when you're on edge, everything terrifies you.
You just got done watching Friday the fucking 13th.
Yeah. And so I'm laying in bed, and then I hear like a door creaking open, and it's like the sound. And I look, and I like sit up in bed, and I look into the living room, and I see my door, the front door, like on the shadow on that back wall. Yeah. The shadow of the door slowly opening. And I'm like, hello?
Shit.
Yeah, I'm like, hello? No answer. I'm like, okay. I don't see anybody. So I'm like, what the hell? And then like I was going to get up to go close the door. And then I see this figure crawling up the steps. Literally crawling. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, hello? I yell it again. And this time I yell a little louder. I was like, hello? No response again. I'm like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck is going on? And then this creature gets to the top steps and like is hunchback and like slowly stands up. Like it's a person.
Oh my god.
It's a fucking person. And I'm screaming at this point. I'm like, hello! No answer. And it looked exactly like the Grudge. She was in a nightgown and everything. And I'm like, hello! I'm screaming. I'm terrified. I'm on the edge of my bed. And I'm like on all fours ready to pounce, right? I'm in fight or flight mode. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I watch the shadow get bigger towards the wall. And then I see the body slowly shuffle and turn to come into the bedroom. And I'm like, this is it. And then it disappears. And out from the wall pops my grandma. And she's like, hey, I couldn't hear you walking around up here. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I'm like, you almost died. I almost killed you.
Why didn't she answer you?
She's like 87 at this time. She's hard of hearing. And because her knees don't work that well, she had to crawl up the steps. But she was in a nightgown ready for bed. And she goes, I just wanted to see what was going on. I was like, she goes, I didn't hear anything. I was like, yeah, it's like 11 o'clock at night on a school night. I'm 12. I was like, it's time for me to go. I honestly thought I was going to die.
Man.
It looked exactly like the Grudge when she stood up. I was like, this is it.
Yeah, oh man, Grandma, you almost got a broken hip.
Yeah, I almost threw hands with my grandma.
Grandma.
It was not a good situation.
Understand. You're too brittle for those types
Oh
of things.
my god, it's one of my favorite
yourself.
stories of her though.
You need to announce yourself.
Yeah, I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
People, if you're gonna sneak in on someone,
Oh man,
you have to accept that you could probably get punched out.
I've had nightmares of this like happening again, but it's not my grandma coming around that
Dude,
corner.
do you ever have reoccurring nightmares?
Oh, all the time.
I used to have one. I don't anymore because I smoke too much weed. But like, I used to. That's like I just put myself out at night and then you don't get dreams. That's like how I took care of that problem.
That's
but,
nuts.
Yeah, dude. If you just like CBD, if you can take like a full goop of it and
Yeah.
you just crash it before you go to sleep at night, you don't have dreams. So then it takes care of the problem.
That's
but
crazy.
anyway, I used to have one that like Woody from fucking Toy Story was
Yeah.
breaking into my room.
Really?
Yep.
I had a reoccurring dream that Spider-Man was coming to kill me.
Yeah.
I was terrified
Woody
of Spider-Man.
punched me in the face. Literally punched me in the face. He like would slap my feet, and then like I'm serious. I'm telling you
That's
the
such a
entire
weird
truth.
thing.
The
All
entire
dreams are weird.
And like he like would run out of my room because like we had a room and it had like this is an old farm style house, so it had like one of those the. Have you ever seen Family Guy?
Yeah.
Looks like that house, but white.
Okay.
And like he would climb out the top window and then onto his Harley Davidson motorcycle and take off down the road.
Why the fuck does Woody have a Harley?
I don't know. But like that was, I had that dream for at least 8 years.
Really?
At least 8 years of my life. I'm from like 10 years old to 18 years old. I was like, why am I still dreaming about this? What the fuck? Moved houses and I would still dream about it in that house.
That's insane.
Yep.
I had I used to have a thing where I wouldn't sleepwalk, but I'd sleep move.
Yeah.
Like, and I would be doing actions that I was doing in my dream. And I'd wake up in the middle of doing those actions, but I would still be in bed.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I was sleeping, and like I said, my mom used to sleep on the couch, so I was laying in bed, and I was in my dream. I remember it vividly. I was in Little League. Meanwhile, I'm in high school at this point, so I don't know why the hell I was back in Little League. But I remember I'm sleeping, and I'm in there, and it was my ma's turn to bring the snacks for Little League. So I'm screaming. I was like, "Ma, did you bring the orange slices?" And I woke up in the middle of that. My mom was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I was like, "Never mind." It was the weirdest thing.
Just go to sleep, Mom.
Yeah, I was like, go to sleep. I was like, I had a dream that we were back in Little League. And then I had another one where I was sleeping. Like, everything was real. Like, I thought I was awake because it was in my room.
Yeah.
I was in my room, and there was one of my hockey teammates spinning on the ceiling fan, hanging onto it, spinning. And I woke up in the middle of it doing this, trying to grab him, trying to get him down. I was like, "Get down! My mom's gonna be
fuck out of
pissed."
the goddamn ceiling.
Yeah. And my mom woke up and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I swear to God, I thought he was swinging from that ceiling fan."
My mom's gonna be so pissed. She comes in here, sees you on the goddamn
That's exactly
ceiling
what
fan,
happened.
you
I was
get
like,
your
she's
ass
gonna
off
be
my
so
ceiling.
mad.
Yep.
I was like, "You're gonna bust the fan."
You ever do that when you're in the middle of a dream and you realize you're dreaming?
Oh, and then you play
you're
along?
like, "Hey man, this is clearly bullshit."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Hold up, I can fly a little bit." You're like,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
I used to be able to manipulate.
Those lucid dreams
when
are
you
fun.
wake up in your dream,
Yeah.
but you're still dreaming, and you're like
Yeah.
looking around. You're like, "Huh, this seems a little too bullshitty for me to be taking this serious." How does that work? How does your brain recognize a dream as bullshit when you're dreaming?
It's gotta be something that like triggers you where it's like, okay, this is too wild. But then I've had stuff too where I've been stabbed like 30 times and
There's
I'm
also
alive.
times and you're trying to punch someone, and you're like,
Yeah.
and you can't punch anyone, and then they just beat the fuck out of you.
I remember
Or
one of
you're
my-
running, and they can just fucking
Yeah, they're hauling ass.
Usain Bolt, but
Yeah.
you're fucking a turtle, right?
Yeah.
You're just you can't move. Oh, it's the worst.
I remember one of my biggest fears is drowning. Drowning and burning are
Yeah.
two of my biggest fears.
Oh man, you ever been in a pool and someone dumps gas on top and lights it on fire? You'd be fucked.
Has that happened to you?
No, it hasn't.
Oh my God.
I just watched this thing on that.
Oh man.
What was that oil rig that blew up recently?
Was it
the Deepwater
Did you watch?
Horizon.
Yes. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my nightmare. That's like a living
that
nightmare.
right there.
Yeah.
I would never work that job.
Hell no.
I would
No.
never. Would you like to leave and go like 30 miles offshore and just pump out just explosive material out of the
Yeah.
ground, and then if something happens, you're fucked?
Yeah, hope you can swim.
I would love
Like
to do that.
wells.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In shark-infested water.
What, there like
Sign me
50
up.
people survived of the 300?
Yeah, it was a lot of. It was
Not
a great
many
movie.
people
Though.
survived that bitch. That was
No.
a great Deepwater Horizon.
You should watch it
That,
if you
that
haven't
was
seen
the
it.
title of the rig. I don't remember what the actual movie title
That's
was.
what the name of the movie was.
Is it?
Yeah, Deepwater Horizon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's with Mark Wahlberg.
Yep.
Yeah, great
It's like
movie.
yeah, that was the newest rig. It's so safe.
Yeah.
It's so safe. And all it took was one shitty supervisor to be like, that pump doesn't work?
Yeah.
Just
Keep
write it
pu-
off
yeah.
as if it does work. Just make the paperwork fit.
Oh, the pressure's too high. Sucks for that pipe.
Dude,
we're just gonna keep it rolling.
This is what happens though when corporates get involved in things and they're like, "Well, we need
Money
oil
hungry.
production." It's like, then you need to get us the proper fucking equipment.
Oh,
because
100%.
You can't cut corners on equipment and like provide
Safety
shit
gear,
materials and provide like half-ass fixes because you want to save money and then expect them to keep producing as if the machine's new.
Right.
It's not going to work that way.
Yeah.
Again, the place I work for does that. Our presses are shit.
Really?
Broken all the
Where
time.
do you work?
I can't.
Can you
say.
tell me? Okay, I
can't
was gonna say.
I'm
You can tell me
shitting
off
on
air.
Too much.
You can tell me
But
off
I'll
air.
tell you off
Yeah.
air. But yeah, like the machines are awful. They print terribly. It's constantly fucking everything up. But yet they're coming down on their guys and they're like, "You guys need to do better," and blah blah blah. It's like, fuck you. Like you guys are they're pretty terrible management there. It's pretty bad.
That sucks.
It's pretty bad. I've never seen it so bad. It's
Really?
pretty bad to the point where we just hired a new manager for our part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even work for them, and our manager that we just hired couldn't handle them and quit.
Really?
Yep, that's how terrible they are.
Yikes.
Yeah,
But yeah, so that dream.
back to you.
Yeah. No. I just don't want to lose it, you know?
No, I get you.
But that dream that I had, I remember I used to watch this show called Third Watch. I don't know if you ever watched
Third
it.
Watch?
Third Watch. And it was an emergency response show. It's kind of like Chicago
Okay.
Fire, Chicago
Okay.
PD.
Okay.
Two of my favorite shows, by the way.
It was a drama show.
Yeah, it was a
Okay,
drama show.
gotcha.
It was Third Watch. My mom and I used to watch it a lot. And there was a character in there, and I can't remember his name. But for some reason, I was in a dream, and we were four-wheeling, him and I.
Mm-hmm.
Weird thing.
Dope.
Yeah. And so we were four-wheeling, and we were on ice. And the ice gave out, and I was falling down. And there were people on shore that were in earshot, and I couldn't yell. And we were drowning, and I couldn't yell.
Oh no!
Yeah. And I remember I woke up in a sweat. And I was like, that's my nightmare.
Do you know that that's real?
Yeah, I believe that.
Where you can't yell because your lungs are shocked?
There's no way in hell I
People drown usually within sight of others because they can't yell.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
That is a terrifying thing.
Also, this whole time your headset's been backwards, so if it's uncomfortable, it's because they're backwards.
Dope. Thanks for telling me now.
I just noticed that you had an L on the right side.
Did I really?
Yep.
I feel stupid.
It's alright.
What's
They're
new,
just
though?
kind of bent.
Where the hell's the L?
They're very faint. They're very faint. It's right here.
They don't exist. That's
On the
fine.
little
On the
arm.
back? On the front? Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is way better.
A little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this podcast has been going super well so far.
Dude, that's how my podcasts go. It's just fuck it.
Oh,
that's how I like it, and that's how the listeners like it. And if they don't like it, then don't listen. I got plenty of listeners.
Yeah,
It scares me a little, so I don't need. Yeah.
That's great.
Are you guys
so
rating
happy.
people? You should rate my fucking podcast on right now. Open your phone and then go on podcast and rate my shit.
Yeah.
Do it because that gets me in the charts higher. Anyway,
I'm gonna go on there after this and rate it,
dude.
so.
Dude, I'm trying to remember. I got someone trolled my message board on my website, and I had to get rid of the message board. I forgot
Really?
So I don't have a message board anymore, guys. Sorry, get the fuck over it. I'm trying to remember. It's just too much of a liability. You're responsible for what people post on there.
Oh, really?
Very
that's
responsible. And
that's
so like
miserable.
you'd have people like post links to illegal websites and shit like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. So I got rid of that tab. So you guys can't post on there anymore. Fuck you. Get over it. I'm sorry I'm yelling at you guys. I'm frustrated. They're like, Dick,
Shape
we didn't
up
do
or ship
anything
out.
wrong. We didn't do it. I'm like, I know you guys didn't do it, but it's yeah, God. That's the way the world goes, man.
Do you know what's crazy?
What?
I can hear myself now. I couldn't before.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't. I could hear you for some reason, but I couldn't hear myself.
Well, now you're here. Welcome.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Now you're back.
Yeah, I feel like I'm alive. So there's a story on the way here. I was thinking about stuff to talk about.
Sure.
You know, because you told me that we just kind of talk about whatever. And one of the biggest things that I do is I tell stories that happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were a couple that I thought about, and one of them that I wanted to tell you about, which I think is probably one of the funniest things that's happened to me in college, was I was hanging out with some friends. We were at their place at the Bowden. Did you ever live at the Bowden?
I didn't live there. I went there a lot, though. Kelsey lived there, so we used to go over and just chill over at her place a lot. Mostly because she had a dope laundry machine, and she let us do our laundry there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how the Bowden's set up then?
It's a beautiful place.
It's a nice place. Super expensive.
Hotel almost.
Yeah. It feels like it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, 2 beds in the same room. It's exactly like a hotel.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. But so I was talking to this girl at the time, and we took her out golfing for her birthday. And then later on that day, she was like, "We're gonna hang out tonight." And I was like, "Sure." Completely forgot.
No.
Dope. Yeah, I completely forgot. And I go over to my friend's place at the Bowden, and she calls me, and she goes, "Are we still hanging out?" And I was like, "Fuck." So I look at my friends there. They were playing Edward 40 Hands. That's why I went over there. And so I was super excited. I wasn't playing. I was watching. I was actually sober this night. And I was watching them play. And I was kind of like the referee. Like, if they need anything, I was handing them. Because if you don't know what Edward 40 Hands is,
it's the
be
best
cultured.
game.
But actually...
You uncultured swine.
No.
It is white culture.
What
it
you
is
do...
our white culture to tape 40s to your hands.
You literally...
and drink them and not piss until they are gone.
You literally duct tape 40 ounces to your hands.
Don't tell me white people don't have culture.
Yeah.
Don't tell me white people don't have culture.
But what we did, so I was there, and I was basically like getting them stuff that they needed because they can't grab anything because they have these taped to their hands.
Yep.
By the way, if you're going to play this game, do one of two things.
Piss
Wear gloves, or drink the 40s warm. I would suggest the first one, but do your own thing. And then make sure you're 21.
Yeah, make sure you're 21. Because that's illegal if you don't. If you drink under 21, that's illegal.
Yeah.
We don't condone illegal activities on this podcast.
Not at all.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by New Horizons Marijuana. New Horizons Marijuana.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. That's
not funny.
It's not. Okay.
Shout out, though. No.
I don't even think they exist.
Okay.
I just thought of Deep Horizons.
Yeah.
I was like,
no, it sounded
just change
legit.
It up a little
it sounded
bit.
legit. But yeah, so I was over at their place, and she calls me, and she goes, "Are we still hanging out tonight?" And I was like, "Fuck." So I look at my friends, and I was like, "Hey, do you care if they come over? Like, do you care if she comes over?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't really know her." And I'm like, I'm a person that takes a lot of pride in the people that I bring over to places.
Make sure they're cool.
Yeah, and make sure that like whatever they do reflects on me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's exactly how I am.
I feel it.
So I'm only bringing people over that I know can handle their shit, especially after this story. So he's like, I don't know, I don't really know him. And I was like, no, I was like, I'll probably just bail here and I'll come hang out with you. Because I did have all intentions of hanging out with her. And her exact words were, tell him I'll bring bitches. And I was like, all right. I was like, hey, she said,
excuse me.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I said. I was like, she said she'll bring bitches. And he goes, yeah, they can come over. Like, didn't even hesitate.
Yeah. Oh,
and so,
what? How many?
Yeah.
More than one? Yeah.
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 And so she brings them over, and I knew two of them, okay? I knew her and one of the friends. I don't want to name drop anybody.
Yep.
But we'll give the other two names because it's going to be hard to decipher. So we'll call them Jennifer and Janet. Jennifer and Janet, okay? Cool. So Jennifer shows up. She's got 2 bottles in her hand, right? One is a wine bottle, and one is a bottle of vodka.
Nice.
Okay. She had, on the wine bottle, she had it marked, okay? She would drink to a certain spot on this wine bottle and then fill the rest of it up with vodka.
Oh my god.
Recipe for disaster.
That is a long night waiting to happen.
Okay. And then this girl, she is built. She's like 6. She's pretty tall. You know, she's a big girl.
Jennifer.
Not like big, but like she's tall, you know, like
yeah, she's pretty strong.
Yeah, she's built, yeah. And so
good stature.
Amazon. Yeah. Absolutely.
Did you get a tattoo?
I did actually. Yeah. I'll talk about this after because this is important to me.
I just saw it.
Yeah. Don't let me forget. And so she shows up and she's got this wine bottle in her hand. And so the girl that I was talking to, she's like, "These are my friends." And the first thing that Jennifer says is she comes in and she goes, "Who's got the weed?" Now, Ryder can attest to this. I'm in a building or in a room full of aviation majors.
Weed doesn't happen in
No,
aviation
it
rooms.
doesn't. And so he looks at my one buddy looks at him and goes, "We don't smoke weed here. Not our thing. I don't smoke weed. Not my thing."
Same, dude. I'm really not into that.
Yeah, you're really tearing down my credibility here. It's like me not smoking weed.
You're good. I'm kidding. People know.
No, I know. And so, yeah, and I was like, yikes! Like that was the first thing that went through my head because I don't know these two, Jennifer and Janet. Those are the names we gave them, and so I don't know them. I'm like, yikes! So I look at my buddy and I was like, if you want them gone at any point in the day or any point in the night, let me know and I will get them out of here. I promise. He was like, no, they're fine right now. And I was like, okay. And they have 2 other roommates that are in their rooms. Like, they're hanging out. Those are the aviation majors. And so, like, yeah, no. So they went in their room. And so we sit down. And the way that the Bowden was set up, at least in this room, was they had a couch along the back wall. And then they have 2 single chairs that are, like, cushiony chairs. They both have armrests. And the 2 that are playing Edward 40 Hands are both sitting in those chairs with the 40s on their hands. And I sit down, and Jennifer comes and sits down next to me. Meanwhile, I'm into her friend, right? So I'm like, I don't really have anything, like, I'm not attracted to Jennifer. I sit down, and she puts her hand on my leg.
Ooh.
And I look at my other friend.
Which
and
leg? Like thigh or leg?
Yeah, like it was like knee-thigh area, right? Like it wasn't too up there, but it's pretty suggestive.
It's a suggestive hand.
And I look at my one friend, who, it's the other one, not the one that I'm into, and I look at her, I was like, gave her the look of like, get her the fuck away from me, please. You know? And so she looks at it and she goes, okay, we're all going to play musical chairs and we're going to move around and we're going to sit other places. Yeah. So we put her, Jennifer, in this chair. Okay. Now Jennifer and Janet are roommates. Okay. So we put Jennifer in this chair. It's an office chair. Okay. So it's on wheels on a hardwood floor. And she is like leaning back in this chair and like kind of rocking in it. Yep. And as she's doing that, I'm watching the front wheels of the chair come up. And I'm like, this is a disaster waiting to happen. Yeah. So we're talking. I'm pretty uncomfortable because, again, I feel like I'm making a bad impression with these people here. So eventually Jennifer's like, I got to go to the bathroom. Janet, come with me. And so they go into the bathroom. I was like, okay, as long as they stay in there, these people out here, we're all cool. Like nobody's out of control. So they're in the bathroom for like 10 minutes. We're having a great time now, right? We're all talking. Me and this girl are hitting it off. You know, I've known her for a while. And then Jennifer comes back out. And she goes and steps over my one buddy to like get across from him to sit on the couch next to me again. And she like steps over him. And I watch him cock his hand back with the 40 in his hand. Like he was going to hit her. And then she sits down in his lap and is like, hey. And then she stands up again to go, face plants into the hardwood floor, knocks herself out cold. And now I get up and I look at everybody and I was like, we're going to wrap it up actually here. Yeah, I think we're all going to go home now. I was like, so I look at my one friend. She's like, I'm already on the phone with our ride.
Oh, my God.
And so I'm standing up and like, again, I don't know this girl. Okay. Never seen her before in my life until this night. And I'm standing over by the door and I'm like getting everybody ushered and ready to go. They're getting her up. And I look at her and I'm standing by the door and I'm like, I don't know this girl. But I'm like, was she always missing half her tooth?
Oh, no,
and her roommate looks at her and goes, oh my God, your tooth. And she starts bawling. I was like, nope, she lost her tooth here. And I'm like, this has now gone from an insane, horrible night to one of the greatest stories I'm going to come out of college with. And I'm like, this is amazing. Meanwhile, when she face planted into the floor, the two roommates opened the door, looked at her, looked at us, and just shook their head and went back in their room. Like nothing, like they were just like, I'm not dealing with this.
Son of a bitch.
And so she's crying, she's hysterical, she's drunk. We're like, we need to get her out of here, right? And so we get her out. I put her in the office chair. Like it took me 5 minutes to get her in this office chair because it's wheels. I can wheel her out of here, right? And because she can't walk, like walking is not a thing for her at this point. I'm like, I can just push her out of here. My dumbass got her to sit down in the office chair in the apartment. So when I get over there, I couldn't get her over the metal threshold. So I'm like, no, and I'm like doing everything I can. Like I'm kind of running at it and like trying to pop it back a little bit to get the like you do with a bike going over a curb. Yep. Not working at all. And so I get her. I was like, you're gonna need to stand up again. She's like, okay. And so she stands up. Now sitting her back down again, not an option. She wants to walk. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I like put my arm around her like I'm carrying her off of a football field. You know, I'm like, okay. And I look, and we got 100 yards to go down this hallway. It was a long hallway. We had to go all the way. They're very long hallways. And I'm looking, and I was like, we got to get down this hallway. And so we're walking down this hallway, and I'm like, again, she's big. Like she's a bigger girl. So she is ramming me into this wall because she can't really walk. Like, all of her weight is on me. Oh, my God. And her roommate is just walking behind her with the chair, just pushing the chair, like, not helping at all. I'm like, this is
Why is she
horrible.
Pushing the chair?
In case she fell. Or in case she was going to, like, fall down. Because she was not stable. Okay. And I'm like, we need to get her out of here. So we're walking down this hall. She's ramming me into the wall. We get to the elevator. And she is screaming hysterically. It is 4 a.m. In the Bowdoin. And we're all underage.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And so I'm like, none of us can get in trouble here. Like, this is not an option.
Yep.
And so we get to the elevator. And I push the button. And she goes, I'm going to sit down. I was like, you cannot sit down. I will not be able to get you up again. And you can't stand up on your own. She goes, I just want to sit down. I was like, you can't. I'm screaming at her at this point. I was like, you can't sit down. So we get in the elevator. She puts her back against the wall. And she starts to sit down. I was like, you can't. Like, we talked about this. We had just had a conversation. You can't sit down. And so she's like, okay. So she gets up. And then we get out of the elevator. And we have one door to pass before we get outside. Okay. This is like a 20-minute ordeal, by the way. Like, this is taking 20 minutes for us to go 100 yards and down an elevator at this point. And so we have one door to pass. She puts her back against the one door that is an apartment and sits down. And at this point, I am pissed. I am beyond pissed. And I was like, get up. And I one arm picked her up. I don't know how I did it, but I picked her up by one arm and I got her
like
up.
A toddler?
No, pretty much. Like that's exactly what I did. Like I put my arm under her and I picked her up and we're walking. I was like, okay. So we get out, we get to the door. And I'm like, here we go. And we're going outside, and then there's a curb, and our car is like right there that we're getting her in. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna step off the curb. Okay, be coordinated. Like, do what you can to be coordinated, because you're gonna tip. Like, it's just gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, don't, like, just hold on to me. Okay. She was like, okay. So she takes one step off the curb, and there she goes. It's like she's tipping to the side.
Yep.
And I have her, and I grab her, and I pull her back in, and I was like, no. And she looks at me, and she goes, thank you. Kissed me right on the forehead. And I'm like, And I opened the door and threw her in the car like a cop. And I looked at my friend. I was like, get her the fuck home. And so I closed the door, and I looked back, and I walked up to the curb, and I looked back, and her face is scrunched up against the window, like this, like her nose pressed up against it. She's just looking, and I was just like, oh my God. And so we all go back upstairs. Her roommate went with her. We all go back upstairs, the rest of us, the people that I know. And we're like sitting there, we're talking, we're like, and everybody is there, and they're like, I can't believe how drunk she was. Like, that's insane. She was super, like, she's never been that bad. And I'm like, hey, can we talk about the fact that she came here a full person and left missing part of her body? Is that not amazing to anybody else? This is insane.
A full person.
Yeah, I was like, she literally left missing part of her body in a baggie. And so I'm like, this is crazy. And they're like, oh yeah, I guess that is a thing. Well, then we get a call from the driver, okay? And my one friend, the girl that I was talking to, puts it on speaker. She goes, hey, what's up? And she goes, nice throw. Did you cash that?
Yeah, I cashed it.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've done it a couple times.
Are you serious?
Yeah, throwing shit in the garbage from this spot. It's been
Kobe.
I'm a lefty.
You just threw that righty.
Yep.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
That's how much I've been doing. Okay, back. Yep.
Yeah, that's insane. And so we get a call from the driver, and she goes, hey, we have a problem. And we're like, what do you mean we have a problem? She goes, so I took a turn too sharp, and she's now wedged between my seats, and I can't get her out.
Oh my God.
And we're like, you're kidding. She goes, I got her. She puked in my back back seat too, by the way. She goes, I pulled her out partially. Part of it ended up on the pavement, but the other half is now in my car. And we're like, you got to be kidding me. She goes, I'm calling the paramedics. And so she called the paramedics, and she ended up going to the hospital and getting her stomach pumped.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She got trashed.
Dude, it was so bad. Like, that was the only situation that I had to deal with when it came to, like, medical. And I was completely sober. And I was like, this sucks.
I wish I could say the same.
It was wild. It was an insane night. And I just couldn't believe that all those series of events happened in one situation.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
You ever had someone jump off a balcony and break their ankle on the way down? You have to kick her out of the car in a rolling fashion in front of vultures so that you can't get controlled by the police and you have to run away because you're 19?
No, and I hope you say you didn't either.
I did.
Oh my God, no!
It was a tough night.
You have medical amnesty. You could have brought her.
What's that?
You have medical amnesty. You could have brought her.
I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat.
Did you kick her out?
No.
Were you the one they could have
back with the other dudes.
Oh my God, that's bad.
It was funny.
That's so bad.
Hey, we told her not to jump, but she wanted to jump in the pool. And like
she missed the pool?
No, she hit the pool, but water doesn't slow you down that much.
No,
she
right.
jumped off the third story, dude. So
where was it?
I can't say because it's gonna put me in liable spots.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
that
wild.
Happened, and then I'm trying to think. Yeah, I've had a lot of interesting shit. Smashed my face on Joe Black's on the way out, and one of my friends did it so bad on graduation night that she had to go to the hospital because she smashed her nose in and her eye was all bleeding and her teeth were missing and she got all fucked up.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other. One of my favorite stories was from freshman year with one of my friends, Jake. He brought me to a Halloween party at one of his friends' houses, and he got so fucking. Him and I were eating so many of the Jell-O shots because we didn't. I didn't say we. I didn't know that they were Jell-O shots because I'm a retarded freshman. I'm like, oh, Jell-O? Oh my God, someone brought Jell-O to the party. This is great. So I'm just eating a shitload, and then Jake's like, oh, someone brought Jell-O shots. Great. And like he's just eating a ton. He's drinking a shitload. He's a bigger boy, so he can handle his shit. But then he passed out downstairs. And it's like, once you're downstairs, it's tough to get him upstairs because I was like 140 pounds at best.
Right.
I'm a skinny little shit, and he's like 220 of a fully grown 6'2" man farm boy.
Really?
Yep. So, bring him up the stairs, and I dropped him, and he like rolled down the staircase like a fucking shitbag. Like, you know when people are unconscious and they're rolling?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just like a rubber band rolling away.
Yeah.
Long story short, we dropped him like 7 times getting him out of the house, twice onto the concrete. Threw him in the back of my friend Cody's car, and Cody was so... He's like, dude, I'm safe to drive, man. I'm safe. Hammered. I mean, everyone in that car was definitely blowing a point too.
Really?
Like, we were hammered drunk.
No.
Driving a car wrong. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that's really bad.
I didn't know that he told me he was fine. And I'm like, okay.
If they tell you they're fine, they're not.
I throw Jake in the back seat. Meanwhile, he's got his dog in the car with him. So this dog is sitting on Jake's face. Jake is passed out. This dog's asshole is right on his face because he's sitting on him, and I didn't know for like most of the drive. So we finally get him back to his hotel or his apartment. And he wouldn't wake up, so I had to go get his roommate and be like, dude, come wake him up to help me with this kid. So he goes and gets him. Jake, like, falls out of the car, again, scratching his face up. And then we threw him in his room. And, yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
We were on, like, a sidewalk at one point. It was not a good night.
Oh, my God.
I can't believe I'm saying that out loud for all these people to listen to. But, yeah.
Isn't that funny what stories come out all of a sudden?
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no.
That was not smart.
These are all learning opportunities, too, though.
I was like, 18 or whatever, whenever you're a freshman. And then, he's just like, no, trust me, dude. I'm a senior. He's over 21, this kid who I'd got in the car with. He was the only one who was over 21. Everyone else was, so we just trusted him. Because you're a teenager and they're an adult, so we just trusted him. But, yeah.
Isn't that great? Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
I remember, when you were talking about being just like a pile of shit, like when you're drunk, I remember I was at a house party at my friend Josh Joy's house.
Yep. You just said his name. Josh
okay.
is dope. He's
you know
dope.
Josh?
I know Josh.
Josh, I have a story with Josh that I plan on telling later too, and he would be happy. He wants to be in this story.
I barely know him. I know him enough just from. He seems to be friends with all of my friends, but I've never became like actual friends with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like kind of a friend all the time.
I know that Josh is okay with this just because the amount of stories that he's told about me. And stuff, and that he's been in.
He's cool.
Oh yeah, I love Josh. Josh is.
It's one of the hockey boys.
Yeah, he was one of my. Yeah, he was in our hockey group and everything. Yeah, so that's where I met like 90% of my friends were those hockey games.
Yep.
And so, but yeah, I remember I was at his house. He threw a little bit of a party, and that was the first time I ever puked from drinking. We had a case race.
Oof.
Yeah, and it was teams of 4. I had 15 out of the 30 rack of Bush, and a team of 4. We still lost.
Damn.
Yeah.
You guys had teams on your case?
Yeah.
We weren't allowed teams.
You weren't allowed teams?
You had it to yourself. And
we wanted to stay alive. That was our whole point, you know. And so
you should have joined a fraternity.
Hell no.
That's what
I wouldn't have made it.
I didn't make it.
But yeah, I was at his house and drank 15, and then I remember I went upstairs to grab another beer. I think we had one left, and I went up there to grab it, and then the other team showed me their empty case. Like, we beat you, and I was like, no, and I looked at, because Josh was on my team, I was like, Josh, we lost. He looks at me, he goes, I forgot we were playing. And I was like, how the hell I'm too competitive for this, you know? So I'm at his place, and I grabbed that last beer, and I went to go back down the steps, and his steps are carpeted. Eat shit. My whole back rug burned down the steps. Right? And it's in front of a ton of girls.
Carpet burn is the worst.
Yeah. It's in front of a bunch of girls. So I just get up and walk off like it was nothing, go to the bathroom,
like
and I'm like,
road rash all
I'm in
over
like
you.
tears in the bathroom. So bad.
When you're looking at yourself in the mirror,
you're a man, damn it. And I look at myself, I was like, shape up
you got
now.
cold water on your face to get the redness away. You're
Like, what happened? They're like, what happened? I was like, oh yeah, I just went outside to pee. It's really cold out there. Like, it's May. I was like, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, God, it's like below freezing out there tonight.
No,
it's crazy.
I think it was like February, because I remember then I like went upstairs, and like my big thing too when I get drunk is when it's coming towards the end of the night for me, I like lay face down on the ground. No matter where I'm at, I'm in the middle of a party, face down on the ground, and the next thing I know, I feel my friends tapping me. They're like, you need to go to the bathroom, and I look, and I'm in a pile of vomit.
Oh my God.
Yep. And I'm like, no. Because I've never puked before from drinking.
Oh, no.
And so I remember I crawl into the bathroom. I literally crawl, hands and knees into the bathroom. And I'm like hugging the toilet.
Yep.
And the room is spinning.
Yep.
Like it was spinning so fast, I thought I was transferring dimensions.
Yep, when you're going somewhere else for a while.
Yep. I was like, I think I'm dying. And so I remember my buddy Zach, he was the one driving me, and he goes, I'm coming back for you. I got to bring my girlfriend home first. I was like, bring me home too. And he's like, no. And I was the whiniest little bitch at this point. I was like, I'm dying. Take me home. And he's like, no, you're not dying. He goes, I'll be right back. And I was like, no, you're not. You're going to forget about me. I was Dylan from Halloween Town. That's who I was for like an hour.
I need it.
Yeah. And then I remember he ended up coming back for me. And I was doing all right at that point. But I was laying down. My stomach settled down. I only puked the one that I didn't puke in the bathroom at all. And I remember I went downstairs, we went down the steps, Zach helped me, and I put one shoe on, and he's standing by the door, and I threw him away from the door against the wall, opened the door, and covered their steps in puke.
God.
And it all froze to the steps. And then I went to bed. Next day, woke up, felt like $1 million, felt amazing. And I get a Snapchat from Josh, and it's him saying, and it's our friends Courtney and her sister cleaning up my puke from the last night. I was like, you guys didn't clean it up last night? He was like, no, we just put a trash can over it and kept the party going. And I felt so bad. That was the only time I puked from drinking, though. That and one other time, I think, actually.
I got a great video for you.
Oh no, I don't like that title.
The title of this video is How I Poop in School.
Oh my god.
And
the thing he typed in, though, which he's not telling you, is handstand poop. That's what you need to tell people.
Okay.
Oh, this is horrible quality.
It's terrible.
This is filmed on a Nokia?
This is like one of the brick Nokia phones.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting fully naked.
He's fully naked. Handstand.
Why? I don't like where this is going in the slightest. Oh my god! No! That had so much power. How do you come across these videos?
Just people send these to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like I have to. I don't know how I can find these. Yeah, these people send these to me all the time. It's great. So basically, what this man does, the video has 1 million views. He goes into the stall of his school bathroom, does a handstand, puts his feet up over the fucking stall like he's doing that Batman routine,
takes his pants off,
and then just power shits over the stall into the urinal next to the stall.
But he didn't quite make it into the urinal. It hit the rim of the urinal. So it's literally just a giant turd sitting on the rim of the urinal.
Let's watch that in instant replay.
One more time? Okay, can we get a play-by-play?
It's in Spanish, so obviously it's somewhere else. But he
had the mind to kick it out of the stall, too. To kick his pants out of the stall.
It's so noisy. Oh my god.
What blows my mind...
Have you ever seen, like, in volleyball when they serve it and it hits the top of the net?
It was a let serve. It was a let serve. That's exactly what that was.
That's exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
It just kind of tipped over the top and then did a tumble. And then it just plopped onto this corner.
You know what this video tells me, though? This isn't the first take.
No, this man has practiced.
Yes, this man has done this every day for the entire school year, and it is May. And this kid's like, I got this one. Because he had the presence of mind to kick out his pants from the stall in case he missed. Which tells me he's missed before, and it's landed in his pants, and now he's got to go back to class with his shit in his pants.
Someone made a parody of it. It's called Jason Bourne Shits Over a Stall. I want to see if they did something funny with it.
This video has 84,000 views.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Oh, man.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. Keep sending me these videos, though. These are hilarious. Keep doing this shit.
Whatever you guys are looking up in your spare time,
usually
go to a food shelf and help other people.
Usually they send me links on Reddit.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reddit's usually where all the shit, or 4chan. 4chan is where all things evil originate.
God. Yeah.
Rule 32 is one of the biggest rules on 4chan. Yeah, I don't like my history on YouTube. How to poop in a urinal, Kai, then your thing, Fed Smoker.
I don't like that one either.
Brian Silva, Chinese car. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's wild, dude.
The CIA is going to look at my thing and be like, who the fuck? This guy's a terrorist.
They're also going to look at you and be like, this guy's way too out of... This guy's all over the place.
This guy needs medication.
This guy's all over the place.
Oh, man.
So, but yeah. So, the story that I wanted to tell you about Josh Joy, though. Yes, this is... If you see Josh now, or if you see Andrew Simonson, do you know Andrew Simonson? Okay, everybody knows Andrew Simonson.
I love Andrew. Again, same situation.
Yep, that's how I met him too. And our other buddy Austin Erdman, if you see any three of these people, even my buddy Nick Erickson, who wasn't even a part of the story, will tell this to anybody.
I think I know Nick Erickson.
I'm sure he played hockey with me for a little bit, yeah. He's a good dude.
I think I know him.
I'm
sorry if I know you and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, no, I lived with him for a summer.
I know you very well.
Yeah, but him, they all tell this story when I'm not around, which bothers me. because it was the dumbest thing I think I've ever
Wait,
done.
is Nick Erickson like a super big libertarian?
I don't know. He's not.
No,
no, he's pretty conservative. I think.
That's not what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. So, but Nick Erickson, he wasn't a part of this, so he's not in this story. But the other 3 people that I just named, they're all in this story, and I know for a fact that they're okay with me telling this story because it's their favorite story of me. So when I was 20 years old, I was living in a university place. Sorry, I got like the hiccups. I had a lot of peanut butter before I came here. But I was 20, and me, Josh Joy, Andrew Simonson, and Austin Erdman were like, we should go to Winnipeg. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Classic.
Yeah.
As one does.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Winnipeg is not, it's like an hour and a half away from Grant, and you can drink when you're 18.
Yeah.
So.
And they talked me into getting an enhanced driver's license the summer before, which, if you don't know what an enhanced driver's license is, it's a driver's license that allows you to travel countries that are landlocked. Or by sea, actually, I found out. You just can't fly with it. But you can only go to Canada and Mexico with this. But you can travel by land and sea, air.
They're changing that anyway again. So
yeah.
Good luck with keeping that around.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah, but so I was like, okay, let's do it. And so one thing about my buddy Andrew, he's always our big driver. You know, he loves driving. He's from California, so he drives everywhere. But the only bad thing about Andrew's driving is he's a big talker, which I love about him. He's also big with eye contact. And so when he's driving, that poses an issue.
Look at you?
Yeah, he looks at you when he drives. If he's talking to you. Yeah. I worked with him at a country club, and in the morning, I don't like to be talked to in the morning. It's my biggest pet peeve I think I have.
Be left alone.
Yeah, leave me the fuck alone. I'm trying to get ready for this shit day. Yeah.
Honestly.
And Andrew's talking to me, and he's staring at me, and we're driving straight down this dirt road, and I'm like, deer. And he's still talking to me. I was like, Andrew, deer.
I'm not sure I understand.
It thought you said her name.
Oh.
Back to you.
And I was like, Andrew, deer. This is going on for like 20 seconds, right? And at this point, I'm screaming, and I was like, deer, Andrew, deer. Finally, he turns around. We hit the deer.
Oh, my God.
We clipped the deer. It like, we just clipped it. Did no damage. I think it just dented his front end a little bit.
Yeah.
But the deer was fine. It ran off. You know, it could have died. It was a baby, though. So I felt bad. But I was literally yelling. I was like, there's a deer. So that's just, like, we were giving him shit for that specific situation in the car. Andrew was not having it in the car. And so...
Isn't he the one that wasn't paying attention?
Yeah.
Dude, you don't have the choice of not having it. You fucking did it. It was you.
No, yeah, but he was just mad that we were giving him shit. He's like, I'm the one driving. He goes, if you guys have a problem with this, one of you can drive. So he was just getting... Because I told so many people about this, you know?
I'll drive next time.
Yeah, and so... We get into Canada, and the first thing we do, we go to a liquor store, right? Mm-hmm. I was 20. I've never been in a liquor store. It was overwhelming as shit. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I know what I like, but I want to try something different. You know, I get to see what's out there. Because when you're under 21, and you're in a mystical land. Yeah, it is, because you only know the stuff that you've heard of. You don't get to look at other stuff.
People.
Yeah. And you're also on a budget because you're in college.
Strict budget, and it's and usually you're getting fucked.
Right.
The guys buying it for you are charging you like twice as much as it fucking costs.
Yeah, and the only reason I'm telling this story is because I know that if any of them heard this and I didn't tell this story, they would throw a fit because they love this story. And so I get in Canada and I look and I was like, I want to get something different. And my buddy Austin, he was like, I like Bacardi. He goes, get Bacardi. It's super good. If you get black cherry Bacardi and cherry Coke, he goes, it's phenomenal. You can't even taste the alcohol in it. I was like, bet. So I got a 7.5 I think you either got a 7.5 or a 1.75. It was a lot. Like again, over proportioning for what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing and I didn't realize how much I would need for just one night. And so I got either a 7.5 or a 1.75 Bacardi, and we go back to the hotel and I mix it straight cough syrup.
Oh my God.
It was disgusting. Okay? And we're in it. So what's nice too about this is that both Andrew and Josh both worked in hotels, so we get the hotel discount. So we were in an executive suite for a very cheap price. Nice. Like I think it cost like each person like $15 for the night. Damn. It was fantastic. Yeah. And so I make this and I was like, I hate this. Like I choked down the first one. I was like, maybe I just need to make it a little less strong. No, it was still trash. So I look at my buddy Austin and I was like, I hate this. And he goes, well, I have vodka. And I was like, I like vodka. He had Absolute. And I was like, do you just want to switch? Because he's like, I know he likes Bacardi. He's like, yeah, that's fine. So we switched, and then I killed a 7.5 of vodka before we even left the hotel room. Mm-hmm. And so...
Then you head downtown?
Yeah. So then Andrew was like, we need to go to Boston Pizza. He goes, it's so good. You got to try it. well, I'm already feeling pretty great before we leave the hotel room. Yeah. And so I go, we get to the Boston Pizza, and I paid for the cab. And Andrew and Josh and Austin are all like, we'll buy you a schooner of beer. So I thought they were all just going to pitch it on one. They each individually bought me a schooner of beer.
Oh, my God.
So I drank 3 schooners of beer, which I didn't know what a schooner was, so I'm going to tell people what it is. It's just a mug of beer. It's a mug.
It's a big... It's like, have you ever seen Lord of the Rings and they're like fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was. And so I had 3 of those before we left. This is where the story gets interesting. I don't remember leaving Boston Pizza.
You just teleported somewhere.
Yeah, the next thing I remember, and I suggest if you're just listening to this, you go look at the footage for this because this is important. I'm literally in the club like this, just staring at people.
Just in the corner hiding.
Yeah, in the corner of the dance floor, just like this. And I remember I go, I should probably not look like I'm trying to murder every person here. So I go up to my buddy Austin and I go, what do I do? I've never, like, the club scene isn't my thing. I go, what do I do? And he goes, go up to any girl and ask her to dance. And I go, okay. Turn around. First girl I see, I tap her on the shoulder. The second I tap her on the shoulder, I hear my buddy Austin go, not her. Too late. She turns around. And I go, hey, do you want to dance? And she goes, no, thanks. I'm with my boyfriend. They were making out when I tapped her on the shoulder.
Oh, my God, you fucking idiot.
And so I go to the guy. I was like, my bad, bro. And I think he could see that I was just pissed drunk.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's all good. And I gave him like a bro hug. And I lean in. And I've never said this before in my life.
Did you kiss him?
No, I didn't kiss him. I swear to God. But I leaned in and I whispered in his ear. And I go, you get yours tonight, bud. 100. Yeah. Don't know what it means. Don't know why I said that. I just said it.
Don't know what it means.
And so my issue was that.
You get yours tonight?
Yeah.
You gonna kill him?
I know. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know why I said it, but I did. And it's in the past now. But I went to, I continued to ask girls on the dance floor already to dance. And it wasn't registering with me that these girls on the dance floor are already dancing with other people. The people that aren't dancing are outside of the dance floor and are waiting to get asked to dance. So I kept getting turned down. Yeah. I was getting frustrated. And in between this, I'm going to the bar and I'm getting shots, right? I'm going strong. And I'm going and I'm like, the shots were $5.50 a shot, Canadian, and I was handing him 20s.
350 cents.
Yeah, and I was handing him $20, and then just walking away. And I did this 3 different times, so I spent $60 on shots because I just hand it to him and walk away. I was like, that's not good. But I again, this isn't registering with me. So again, I go back to the dance floor in between all these, and I'm asking girls to dance, and then finally, I asked this girl to dance, and I was so pissed. I was just like, God. And I asked this girl, I was like, do you want to dance? And she turns around, she's like, no thanks. And I've never done this before in my life, never have again, and I don't suggest you do this even though it worked, but I throw my hands up in the air and I go, fine, fuck me then, I guess I'm just a fat idiot. And I turn around, and I yelled that in the club, and I turn around and I see my buddy Austin in the back of the club like this.
Oh my God.
I didn't get turned down for the rest of the night. Jesus. I think that they were scared.
Everyone was like, oh, I don't want to be the asshole who gets fucking...
Yeah. And then I proceeded, after I danced with a few girls, I walked off the dance floor and I went up and I was trying to find my friends, and I met this girl there, and I spent 20 minutes trying to explain to her how I wasn't a fuckboy when she was agreeing with me. So this is how the conversation went.
I'm telling you, I'm not. I know. I'm telling you, though.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not a fuckboy. And she was like, I believe you. I was like, but I just really want you to know that, like, I'm not that type of person. And she goes, okay. And I was like, but I really don't think you believe that for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because because you're not getting the right cue.
Yeah.
You don't get the right social cue that you think you should be getting.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Still got to snap.
When you're hammered. It's exactly. It's like, yeah, but, like, I don't think you're understanding me. Like, you're hearing me. But, like, you're not understanding me because you're not giving me the wink that drunk me thinks I need to be seeing right
exactly.
now.
That's exactly what it was.
Yep.
And so, still got her Snapchat, though, so it worked out. It must have worked. But, again, we're in Winnipeg, so nothing's ever going to happen.
Canadians are good people.
They're very nice people. Winnipeg, on the other hand, not the best place.
No.
But, so we go back to the hotel, right? Night ends, having a great time. Wake up the next morning, I'm laying in bed. And the room is just doing laps. It is spinning. And I suggest you try this if you ever have the spins, because it worked for me. But I close my eyes really tight, right? And I go, no! Super loud. And I open my eyes, room stops spinning. It was amazing. And so
I don't know if that works for
I don't know. I suggest you give it a shot. What's the worst that happens?
Just scream at the room.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. You got to close your eyes really tight.
A firm whipping.
I think that's what saved me was I closed my eyes really tight.
Yeah.
But then I remember laying there. I was like, why did they keep serving me at this club last night? And then I got up, went and looked at my wallet. No money in my wallet. I was like, oh yeah,
that's why.
I'd keep serving me too if I was tipping 300%.
Yep.
I was like, makes sense.
I tipped the fuck out of him.
Yeah. So then I went and laid back down because I was still tired. And then I'm laying there and I was like, I don't remember seeing my ID in my wallet.
Oh no.
So I go and look at my wallet. My ID's not there, which if you remember from the beginning of this story, I have an enhanced driver's license, which is my passport.
So you can't get back to the
So I
States.
can't get back to the States. And I'm like, shit. Sober up real fast. I wake everybody up in the hotel room. And I was like, we need to find this. So we're tearing apart this room, right? Nowhere to be found. We tore this place apart. And I'm like, so logically we're thinking it's at Whiskey Dick's. What's the club name? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so that club is no longer around, so I can name drop it. Yeah. And so, but yeah, that Whiskey Dick's, call them. They don't open till 9 o'clock at night.
I can't imagine why a place called Whiskey Dick wouldn't be open anymore.
Dick's, D-I-X.
See, here's the deal. We know what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We know what you're saying. You mean someone can't get a hard dick because they drank too much from being at your club.
Right.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
You can put an X there, but we know.
We know where you're. We know
I'm telling you right
what you're
now,
getting at.
If a club name is like a slang term misspelled, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
You got to get the fuck out of Dodge, man.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like District 9, but it's like District with a KT at the end of it, and then 9 is NYN. Get the fuck out of there, man.
And so we call Whiskey Dicks. They don't open till 9 o'clock at night. And I say to them,
At night?
At night, because they're our club.
Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we need to go back because Andrew works tonight, right? Andrew works that night. It was a Saturday. This now is a Saturday. So Andrew works, and he looks at me, dead in the eye, and he goes, I'm leaving with or without you.
Oh my god.
And I was like, what?
What a good
and he
friend.
goes, I have to work tonight. He goes, I'll leave you my credit card, but I'm coming. I'll come back and get you tomorrow. But I'm going home tonight. He goes, I work tonight. I work at a hotel. I work overnights. And I look at my other two friends, and these two assholes are standing in the corner of the room, not looking at me, looking down, and they go, we're going with him. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm a person. I was like, you're just going to leave me in Canada? And they're like, we didn't lose our ID.
So?
And I was like, Jesus.
Grow
I was like,
up. Fuck you guys. Wow,
and so
that's ruthless.
I was like, whatever. I was like, fuck. And so Andrew, but to his extent,
I
he was
don't care.
like texting his mom and like asking, he's like, is there anything we can do? So she came up with the idea, call the embassy, call the U.S. Embassy. So like, and he goes, that's what they're there for. And I was like, that's a good idea. So I called the embassy. Again, it's a Saturday, so they're closed. And which I didn't know the embassy closed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't know it closed, but I get the answering machine and they tell me their hours and they go, but if this is an emergency, press 1. And I go, yeah, this is an emergency. Boop. Press 1. And this guy comes on, he goes, U.S. Embassy, what's your emergency? And I go, yeah, hey, I lost my ID. I think I lost it in a club. And I'm trying to get home tonight. Is there anything that we can do? And he goes, are you dying? And I was like, no. And he goes, is someone seriously hurt? And I was like, no. And he goes, this isn't an emergency. And he hung up on me.
Oh my god.
I was like, you gotta be shitting me. So now I'm panicking again, right? At this point, I text my mom. Okay, I was like, because my mom expected me home. Like, I was supposed to call her when I got back because it was my first time leaving the country alone. And I texted my mom, and I was like, hey, we ran into a hiccup. I lost my ID up here. I was like, please don't be mad, with the typical kid thing. And I swear to God, she wrote me a novel. And it said, how could you, I'm so disappointed. Like just typical parent stuff that you would send.
Holy shit.
But the only good thing is that because I was in Canada, she couldn't call me. So I could read it any tone I wanted, and I read it in the tone, she's the proudest mom I ever. So she wasn't even, so that kind of softened the blow a little bit. But yeah, it was a long thing, and it took her like 2 minutes to type it out. I swear she had it typed out the night before and just hit send. But so then I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. And then we all come up with I go, I need to call the border. I can't be the only dumbass that's ever lost their passport and needs to get home. So I call the border, and they go, U.S. border, how can I help you? And I go, yeah, hey, I told them my name, and I go, I lost my ID up here, and I'm trying to get home. My ID, it's my enhanced driver's license. And he goes, are you an American citizen? And I go, yeah. He goes, so what's the issue? And I was like, I lost my passport, like my ID, my enhanced driver's license. And he goes, but you're an American citizen. I was like, bro, are we fucking playing Simon Says right now? Yeah, we've been over this. And he goes, we legally can't keep you out of your country. He goes, we have records of you crossing the border. We're going to expect you to come back. He goes, it's going to be a bitch to get across the border. We're going to have to cavity search you and all this. But yeah, you can come home. Now my friends hear this, they're all gung-ho for me. Yeah, cavity search him, he's got drugs.
Oh my
God. Not a
God.
good situation. I was like, you guys suck.
Oh my God.
But now I'm like, I can come home now, right? I'm feeling good. I was like, thank God. And so I go downstairs, we go to have breakfast, and I asked the lady at the front desk, I was like, do you by chance know the manager of Whiskey Dicks or the owner? I was like, is there any way that you can do this? Like, that you can get a hold of him? She's like, I don't know him, but I can look up their website. And I was like, please do so. So we go and have breakfast. She comes over to me and she goes, I got the manager of Whiskey Dicks on the phone. They said they found a Minnesota ID in the club last night. I was like, oh my God. So I go over there. I was like, hey, yeah. I was like, my name's Taylor. Do you have my ID? I was like, I heard you found one in the club. He goes, well, I don't have your ID on me. He goes, I didn't go home with your ID. It's at the club. And I go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And he goes, I can meet you there at 3. I was like, can you meet me there at 1? I really need to get home. And he goes, yeah, I'll meet you there at 1. And so we go, and I say to Andrew, this is what drove me nuts. Andrew drove a giant truck at the time. He drove a Denali, okay?
Jesus.
With a topper,
Rich kid, fuck.
Yeah, well, he's from California.
Damn.
But he drove a Denali. He drove that thing till it died. Like, he drove it over 300,000 miles. So, like, you know, he put the time in with it. And so we, he goes, I know where Whiskey Dicks is. It's like 10 minutes away. I was like, so we should probably leave at like 12:40 then, just to make sure that we're there on time. He goes, we don't need to. It's 10 minutes away. Andrew didn't fucking know the way to Whiskey Dicks. We show up at 1:10, 10 minutes late.
God.
Okay, we're in the middle lane, and all of a sudden Andrew goes, "Ooh, Whiskey Dicks," and cuts the wheel. We almost killed someone. We almost smoked a car. And you have to access it in an alley. So we drive down an alley in Winnipeg to get into the parking lot. And I go up to the door, pitch black in there, nobody in there. I go, you gotta be kidding me. This is not okay. I was like, we're 10 minutes late. I have no way of calling him because I don't have cell service. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I'm walking back defeated, right? I'm walking out of the alley, and all of a sudden, right when I get to the end of the alley, a black sedan rolls in, like whips in, right? Tinted windows, couldn't see inside. Windows come down, and all of a sudden, my ID comes out of the window, and I walk up to it. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I was like, thank you so much. I was like, what happened? And he goes, well, you were so drunk when you got here last night that you just handed the bouncer your ID and kept walking. I was like, and my friends didn't stop me? He's like, no, your friends are pretty shitty. You should think about getting some new friends. I was like, oh my God. I
have to agree with you.
I was like, thank you so much. I was like, I'd give you money, but your bartender has it all. I gave him all my money last night. And he goes, don't worry about it. And then I get into the car, and Andrew goes, we just saw somebody get stabbed in an alley. I was like, we need to get the fuck out of this city. And so we drive out, and then we get close to the border where I get cell service. I was like, hey, Mom, when we cross the border, I'll call you. I was like, we found my ID. Don't worry about it. And she's like, oh, I was like, please don't yell at me, though. I've had a long day. Okay? She goes, okay, get across the border, and this is exactly how the call goes. Brrr, you're a fucking dumbass. Click! That was the entire conversation that my mom...
hung up on her, too.
And what?
I'd have hung up, too.
Yeah, she hung up on me. That was it. That was the entire conversation. She goes, you're a fucking dumbass. It was so funny. And then I ended up getting home and making it in time for the football game, the UD football game.
My mom is way more chill than that.
Oh, my mom's only kid. You know?
I get it,
yeah.
but I guess... I don't know. What is freaking out going to help with?
Right, and she was cool about it. Like when I talked to her again, it was a good laugh.
Really
she was
shitty of your friends to do that.
It worked out in the end.
It was really shitty. I know they're listening to this.
Yeah,
it was really shitty of your friends to do that.
I mean,
those two guys that were going with him, selfish,
no.
Shitty friends,
and so
very selfish, man. You guys are listening. That's selfish. You need to be better friends.
We all got home safe, which is what's
doesn't
important.
matter. You're selfish. Be better. I would never do that to my friends. No, Never. Would you want someone to do that to you? No, don't do that to someone. Fuck you, guys. That pisses me off a little bit, man.
For me, like
I've had plenty of shit friends in my
life,
especially like when I hit that whole depression episode and nobody was there. You guys, it sucks. Be better friends. It sucks.
So, but yeah, we all got home. We were all good, so it wasn't a big deal. But I think
it's a big deal.
I think if I would have stayed there, and because Josh couldn't get that hotel room again that night.
It's almost like. It's the difference between murder and attempted murder. Dude, you tried to kill someone. You should go to jail for this.
I don't think it was that big,
I'm talking about. It's like it's a thing like where your intention was to leave you there. If it came down to it, your ass was staying in Winnipeg while your 3 friends went back to the States. That's not cool.
Yeah, I did say that they were coming back to get me, right? The next day. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Well, you said that one was coming back to get you. The guy.
Yeah, he would have come back and all three of them didn't come back.
I understand his position. Mm-hmm. I understand his position. I'm saying I'm sure he would have came back, but the other two should have stayed for you. Yeah. They didn't have jobs at night. They wanted to go back for the football game or whatever their own reasons were.
Yeah,
it's not always about you. Sometimes situations come up where you can't just do what you want. Right. You gotta help your friends out sometimes. Mm-hmm. So that's my position on that. Be better friends.
That was just, and they're good friends. They really are. That was one incident. Like that was one incident where they showed their true colors and they would have left you if you had nothing. Maybe, I don't know.
That's what it sounds like to me, man. I understand that you're good friends, but I've had plenty of good friends leave me high and dry.
Yeah. So
you guys need to be better friends than Taylor.
So, but yeah, we're all still friends. I know we're all still friends though, and it's not, and we've all done pretty stupid stuff, and I think that
they apologized for it.
Yeah, they did.
Good.
Yeah. So
good. Well, at least that happened. I'm just saying, if my friends ever would have left me like that, that would have been the last fucking time I would have talked to those people.
And they didn't. It didn't come down to that. So I don't know. I honestly don't know if they would have. I don't know if their guilt would have kicked in or something.
When we got back to Forks after you guys would have left me in Canada, have fun. Good luck, guys. Yeah. Good luck out here. Yeah, I don't need that type of friend in my life. You're gonna leave me in another country because you have things to do. And bye. Yeah. I don't need that.
I don't know.
That's why I have like 3 friends. Because they're all people I would like die for, and they die for me. We're not. I don't trust that. Trust is all that matters in the world. And if you're going to be left in the country, you can't trust that person.
I guess
I understand that they've maybe changed since then or whatever, but you guys, goddamn, don't do that. That's pretty cynical. That's pretty cynical. Funny story in the long run.
Oh yeah, it was a great story.
I would leave out the part of your friends treating you like absolute shit.
That makes the entire story.
Yeah, but you're still friends with them, so it almost makes you kind of look like you're being trampled on.
I've told that story, that whole thing, just like that, so many times when they've been around. They're okay with it. They really are.
Yeah, I guess.
So
yeah,
but yeah,
it makes me uncomfortable.
That's my story too. It's not theirs.
I understand.
So
it just makes me uncomfortable.
I get that, and they didn't. And in the long run, they didn't leave me. Because I found my ID and stuff. Who knows if they would have? But yeah,
kind of sounds like they would have.
They might have. I don't know. I think if it happened again today, I don't think they would.
Well, I hope they're listening to this and they come and text you and talk to you about this again in a nicer way.
I hope I don't get flamed from that.
Better not get flamed from them. I hope they don't get flamed from all their other friends for leaving you fucking. If anyone's getting flamed, it's not you.
They've all heard this story. All their friends, they tell this story to everybody.
But I'm just saying, I hope you don't catch. What do you mean you catch flame? I don't think you're the. I understand you lost your ID, and they're like, "Oh, well, I didn't lose it." Yeah, I understand that, but there's a lot of things that you probably needed help from other people with that you fucked up, and it's called being a friend.
Yeah,
that's what. If you can't help your friends when they need help, what the fuck? What are you hanging out? If they're drinking buddies, that's one thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the Winnipeg story.
Yeah, Winnipeg's a wild place, man.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. And then I didn't go back for another 3 years, and then we went back. I went back with Andrew again and one of our other buddies, Tom. We went to a Winnipeg Blue Bombers game, and I refused to drink.
Blue Bombers is cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. I went there for just there was I had a friend who had kids in hockey, and I used to go up and help coach with that and do other stuff. It was a good time. I like it.
Yeah.
I used to stay in the nicer areas. I was in the arenas and hockey places and.
We went by, is it the TSN Center? Is that where they play? Yeah, we walked right past there.
Downtown.
Yeah, so that was neat.
Bitch, the park. Good luck parking, dude. The parking ramp is full, and you got.
Yeah, I couldn't find I didn't even know they had a parking ramp.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's another thing. When we went to the Winnipeg, this shows how how much of a bubble I lived in as a kid. When we went to Winnipeg the second time, it was in October, so I didn't know this. But that's around Canadian Thanksgiving time.
Yep.
I did not know that. I need that to be clear. I did not know that. So after the game, we got off the bus, or we were getting on a bus for a shuttle to bring us to our car. And we get on the bus, and when we get to the parking lot, everybody's getting off, and the bus driver goes, "Have a great night, happy Thanksgiving." And I, in the back of the bus, out of all these Canadians, I yell, "It's October!" And my buddy Tom looks at me, he goes, "Canadian Thanksgiving, you moron." He slapped me. 30 Canadians staring me down as I get off this bus.
Oh my God.
I had no idea.
Just put yourself out there.
Yeah. I didn't know, Obviously now, everything's a learning experience. I now know when Canadian Thanksgiving is. It's in October.
I'm wondering what is the difference between Canadian Thanksgiving? Who started that one as compared to ours?
Because bro, I didn't even know it existed 3 years ago.
Thanksgiving was supposed to be it's the story of Christopher Columbus. They gave us corn. That's not really what happened, but it's what we told ourselves so we'd feel better.
Right.
But that was always in Canada. So, like, I'm guessing the United States was like, we'd like November a little more. We're just going to go ahead and do November. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that's what happened.
Well, and it was one of those things, too, where it's like, I was so, like, caught up in my own life and, like, forget that other people exist. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not necessarily, like, self-centered or narcissistic, but,
I know
like,
what you mean.
You get caught in that bubble and, like, you forget that the rules don't apply everywhere.
Dude, human
and, like,
beings aren't made to do what we're doing. Like,
no.
Human beings are just progressed monkeys that are like, our brain is wired for like good, bad, remember that, forget that. It's like we remember the negative things so we don't do it again.
Right.
Like that's what we're made for. We're only made to make simple decisions. So like now that we've got nuclear bombs and shit, we weren't supposed to have those.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's crazy, and so we evolve so much. And
I think Elon Musk is the next human. I think he's where we go. Like, after all the dummies die off, I think it's just going to be a bunch of Elons making starships and stuff and just going to Mars. But then at the same time, there's too many safety labels for that to truly be where it happens. I think we might have some dummies out there that have to... Like, smart people only have, like, 2 kids at the most, you know? Like...
Yeah, just keep the population stable.
Dumb people have, like, 9, 10 fucking kids. Like, you ever notice that?
Yeah.
Like, I come from a family of, like, 9 kids. It's not smart to fucking do that.
It's super...
I love all of you. My siblings are great. But I hope each one of you only has like 2 kids, so you guys can have those 2 kids have a dope life.
It's so financially irresponsible to have that many kids.
It's just irresponsible.
Unless you're like a Bill Gates, you know, like, where you make a ton of money. Well, because you can support them though.
There's just too many fucking kids. That's too many kids. You got so many kids. All that extra money could be spent, and I don't mean like, ew, God would want. Okay, I'm trying to say that instead of spending the $800,000 per kid over, 6 times more, you have 2 kids. Let them have the dopest life. Go fucking go to Australia, go to Africa, go to Europe, go do stuff. But you have like 8 kids, you'll just sit in the house all day and just play with each other, which is cool. But just have the 2 and then let them play with each other and then go travel the world and do cool shit.
See, I feel like when you have that many kids, it's good for a farm. You know what I mean? Like when you need help on the farm and cheap labor like that, when you can put your kids to work once they learn how to drive the combines and stuff. That's acceptable, I think, because they serve a purpose.
To a point.
Yeah.
Hiring people can be cheaper.
It can. But you're not,
Depends on how you do it.
Yeah. I don't know. So.
Just find the ones without a green card. They're really cheap.
Jesus.
Was that too far?
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm kidding. Our immigration is so fucked in this country.
It is.
It's the best.
It's rough.
We haven't changed immigration since '84.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's been almost 40 years of us having the same immigration policy.
That's crazy.
Same one that Reagan made.
Times change.
Reagan saved America. Said like 3 people.
Man, that's crazy. It's just how stagnant we stay as a country, and
dude, I don't know. It's getting weird. What do you think's gonna happen next? 2020 election. Who do you think's winning this bitch?
Realistically, I think Trump will win again.
Same.
Yeah.
I think this whole impeachment thing really shot the Democrats in the foot because you just proved that you're willing to throw someone to the torch for nothing.
The thing that bothered me...
It's like Nancy Pelosi has done more criminal shit than the Trump ever has in her 20 years in that bitch. She has done so... Like, she made laws to protect companies from Americans suing them for, like, fucking them over. Like, you want to talk about someone who's invested in business over Americans? Go look at your Speaker of the fucking House. Yeah. Like, you're bitching at the wrong guy. Yeah, Trump's a fucking moron. I don't like him that much either. He has some good economic process. Our economy is clearly doing well because he's the president. They know that business is good under him because he cuts regulations. Things that piss us off makes business happy. It's just the way it goes. That's why the economy is so good. But at the same time, you can't have this economy with a Bernie policy. So we're going to get the policy. I think Bernie's going to get the Democratic endorsement. I think they're going to try to kneecap him at some point here, like they did in 2016. But he's won every caucus so far.
Did he win the South Carolina one? He did win it.
He won it there was 11% polling, and he was declared the winner.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Because I know that Biden was saying that he needed that one.
Biden's last speech. I am running for the United States Senate. The great people of Michigan will hear me. It's like, dude, you're in North Carolina right now. You're running for president, by the way. Like, that's a real thing. You can look up that speech. He said he's running for Senate, and he was in the wrong or in the wrong state.
Yikes.
Like, dude, you can't even remember what your name is half the time. Why are you running for president?
Yeah, that's rough. So, yeah. Me and politics, I'm not... See, like, I don't like talking about them that much.
I like making fun of...
I'm not educated enough in them to, like, have a discussion.
I think everyone knows that I hate every politician and bureaucrat that exists. That you're all crooks. So, like, if someone brings up a name, you can best guarantee I'm going to shit on them. They might have done some good things, but they probably have done a disproportionate amount of shitty things that you're good. Trump cut down. Here we got... Shut up. Shut up. That guy's a fucking asshole. He's done plenty of asshole things.
Yeah. It's bad.
But I digress.
It's fine. We're bad, you know.
The country's been through worse, man. We've been through nuclear war.
I think the biggest...
Everyone forgets that World War II was a nuclear war. It was. We used 2 bombs.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one. Nuclear war requires 2. We used 2.
Yeah, that's crazy. Jesus. So, this coronavirus, though, is...
It's hilarious to me.
Oh, man.
It's nothing. Why are you worried about it?
Because for me, I hate throwing up.
Dude, I've had the swine flu. I've had that H1N1. Dude, more people
Should I be in the same room with you? Are you just a walking petri dish?
No, I'm not a petri dish. I'm just like a... I don't know. It's just a more media-mongering bullshit. Yeah. More people died...
Oh, 100%.
More people died
from the common flu.
More people died this year from the cold. From the common cold because they're poor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So... No, everyone can just chill with this whole fucking... Oh my god, it's coming! It's coming! Oh my god!
It's been here. Like the coronavirus has been around for a while. It's not like it's a new thing.
No, and everyone thinks like it came from like bat soup in Canada or in China. Yeah, this man ate a bat soup, and it came from a meat market. No, it fucking didn't. It came from the fucking... There's a biomedical facility right up the road that they use bioweapons and test things like that, like how we have ours here, but we, clean up. They just don't do shit over there apparently and just let it out the front door because the first person was like a 10-step walk away from that building.
Oh, really?
Yep. And that's where they housed it, and that was like where they knew that everyone had it. And the only reason why people think it came from a bat soup is because China said so. And since when the fuck do we listen to those commie bastards? Those guys are fucking idiots. That dude looks like Winnie the Pooh. Who fucking listens to him?
See, my big...
Faggot ass.
Jesus.
I fucking hate the Chinese government. Those fucking cunts.
Yeah.
They have concentration camps going on right now, and everyone's like, what, never again from Germany? Remember when we all said never again? Ignore that.
Never again.
Yeah, they have Muslims in camps, but it's Muslims, so no one cares right now. But they've got Muslims by the millions in camps making toys. Do you know that?
I didn't.
There was a Christmas toy that was opened up by a child in Carolina. Mm-hmm. Can't remember which one, but it had a note in it that was said, like, we're slaves, we're enslaved in this camp, help us, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, we like our shit for $4.99, so we can't help you, sorry.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I hate watching the news just because it's so depressing.
It's not really that depressing. It's just that what's depressing is watching our politicians fill their pockets instead of helping people.
Yeah.
That's the only depressing part. Like, we could do a lot right now. I mean, we just approved another $50 billion for the Space Force, so we've got like a $790 billion budget for the military. I think it would cost like a couple billion to save every homeless person in this country.
Look at Flint; they still don't have drinkable water.
What's hilarious is that they're getting sued by a lot of the residents. They're getting sued. The government is.
Oh, good.
And they tried to file something saying that they're immune, like personally they're immune from the lawsuit, and the judges were like, "You're not immune. You could lose everything too."
Good.
So a lot of the politicians are personally being sued for everything.
That
so
blows
my
mind.
Fuck you. You fucking ruined all their lives. Fuck you. You don't get a life either now. You were elected to do something good for the people, and you filled your pockets.
It's
fuck you, faggot. Yeah. Fuck you. We don't care about you. People, you say faggot a lot. Faggot to me doesn't mean gay people. It means like some dude who cuts you off in traffic, like, and then hits the brakes. Like they pass you on the left, and then they start slowing down after passing you, and you're like, what the fuck? Now I gotta pass you, fucking asshole. That's a faggot to me.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I hope everyone doesn't think I'm...
No, yeah. So, I get it. Not my word. I won't use that.
I'm sure a lot of people don't have words they can use, but like sounds that come from your mouth, it's like, there's a lot more, like again, like I said, instead of not using words, I would rather use my energy to talk about the fact that Muslims are imprisoned in camps.
Right.
There's a lot worse things out here than the word faggot. People want to torch me for using the word faggot instead of like torching politicians for fucking over entire communities for generations. go for it, man. That's on you for being stupid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, we're going on like 2.5 hours here, man.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Jesus, doesn't feel like it.
Let's wrap this up here soon. Again, where can we find you, man?
Me?
Social media?
Social media,
Insta?
just Facebook and Twitter.
Facebook.
Twitter, let me look at my Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much, but if you want to find me, let me look at my Twitter handle. I barely tweet. You can follow me on Instagram, too.
What's your Insta?
Let me look.
Barely use it.
Dude, I don't post pictures, but I like to follow people.
Well, his name is Taylor Bennett.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook if you want to find him.
I'm on my, and then my Instagram is Taylor Bennett Hockey 2112.
There you go.
And then my Twitter, I believe, is the same. I think it's actually Taylor Bennett 40 on there. Let me look real quick. Yep, Taylor Bennett 40 on Twitter. So
follow him. Cool.
Thanks. I had fun.
All right, man. Well, thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We will see you later.
See ya.
Bye.